One of these days. There we go. It takes a long time. There's a delay. Hey, everybody, this is Perch, and I'm here with Geoff Thorne and Joe Coralla. How are you both doing?
Woo! Woo! All right. This is the highlight of my day. This has been a very hectic, crazy day, and I'm happy to sit down and talk about comics with you guys.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
The week was the week particularly weird for both of you because this was I think yes. 2 or 3 months from now, we'll be able to point back at this week, and this will be a completely insane week for a lot of reasons.
Oh, my God. Yes.
It's been weird. It's been weird. I've been out of the house.
Insane week for a lot of reasons.
Hold on.
Oh,
let's kill that. Let's kill that. Let's kill that.
Okay.
It's been weird. Let's kill that feed. I was out. There we go. Goodbye, feed.
But no, it's this was. I can't believe the Batman Catwoman thing happened this week.
Oh, fuck that! What the fuck?
That was this week.
Yes, that was this week.
Crazy, crazy. But yeah, the second time I've been out of the house was today. I mean, like an official unmasked whatever. And both times I felt like I was on fucking parole. Like being around other people at a restaurant. What the hell is that? Like, who knew this was going to be so weird? Like,
did it hit you by surprise? Like, I walked into a Target yesterday, and none of the employees were wearing masks, and I felt like what? When did this happen? It was nice, but it was weird.
It was this morning. It happened this morning. No, it was weird, man.
Everything's safe. We're good. We just go out and a friend of mine in Japan who I've been talking about, which added to the weirdness of this week, they're doing a campaign right now trying to educate people not to pick their nose and eat it because they've determined is one of the big transmissions to the virus. Does that strike you guys as weird?
Say that again?
Yeah. So apparently... and by the way, for the people in the chat, it's all me. Geoff was here early, so it's all me who's been late. There's a campaign in Japan trying to teach people not to pick their nose, and then ideally not pick their nose and put it in their mouth, because the doctors have determined that's one of the key transmission rates.
Eating your own boogers is one of the transmission rates?
Apparently so. How about that?
What the fuck?
Well, I guess if the virus gets caught in your mucus and then instead of expelling it, you put it back into your body, I guess. Sure.
I guess. Okay, Japan. God bless you.
Joey's got it right here. Yeah.
I mean, you know what? If that's the campaign they need to do, by all means. It seems crazy to me, but they know their people, and if that's what it is, then that's what it fucking is.
There you have it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a couple weeks of manga superiority, and I think this is one of those things that we could maybe go the other direction. I don't know. I'm not joking, by the way. You can actually Google this. This is apparently a thing that people are having to educate people on. Yeah.
I am not scared of Hal Jordan, chat. I am in no way scared of Hal Jordan.
Oh man, after this week though, with what Zack Snyder shared of Batman,
Christ on a crutch, leave us alone.
That gives a whole new meaning to Snyder Cut.
Oh fuck! Snyder Munch, I guess is what we're talking about.
But yeah, I mean, poor, Yeah, I won't get into the details. You kids can fill in the.
Oh no, we'll get there. Don't worry. This is will be a fun night. So for people, by the way, who are joining us, as a kind of heads up, it's highly likely that over the next couple of weeks, I've got to do a trip to Greece. I've got to do a trip to LA. So I'm going to be traveling. So there's a high chance, and a trip to Tokyo over the next 6 weeks or so. That we'll be skipping this live stream a bit over the next several weeks. So hopefully not too much, but sorry about that in advance. So tonight we're going to have fun.
Thank God.
Can always drop an interview or something like that on the time slot, and I should kind of head it out that way.
We'll do it that way, or we'll get us together and we'll just pretend like we'll do what people always claim that we're doing. We'll actually won't be live, and it will just be a trick.
That's great.
So
that's great. we can even refer to things people say in the chat because a lot of y'all say the same shit every time.
That's
so
true.
We can actually pretend
what
to
do
be
you think
responding
about
to
the person in the chat who's commenting about the woke agenda? What do you think, Joe?
I could go for another cup of coffee. Is that what we're talking
about? Perfect. Oh, what a time! We deserve some fun. This has been I'll point back to this week like 6 months from now, and we'll all be in on it together. But I'm going to a convention on Sunday.
What?
Yeah,
you mean in person?
In person, like there's one in the Seattle area, and apparently, God, who's there? I think Donnie Cates is going to be there. It's like. I mean, say it that way, but like legitimate people will be there. That sounds terrible the way I say it.
Like Donnie Cates is going to be there.
It's the Donnie
Cates.
Yeah, the symbol of authority is Donnie Cates. No, it's I think Liam Sharp is going to be there. I look forward to seeing him.
Wow.
Wow. That's I guess when no one's done a show for a while, they're eager to hop on whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like Puyallup, and if you know the Seattle area, that's not a place you want to go.
Okay, I don't know.
Isn't Seattle like nice this time of year though?
Yeah, I mean it's warm. It's like 70s right now. It's very pretty, but still, Puyallup is like it's like if you're in New York and then you schedule the con in Jersey, but not Jersey, a dump in Jersey.
I've been to a show in Camden. Is that good?
That sounds terrible.
I don't know. What the hell?
It's not the best. It's not the best. That's terrible. Puyallup is lovely, wonderful people there, I'm sure, but it's not the.
Is this a big convention? Because the ones that I prefer there's a Long Beach convention that I go to when I can. Ironically, the LA Con, which you'd think would be sort of just good Lord, is actually they both remind me of the way conventions used to be. Yeah. Where they were mostly about comics. Everybody there is sort of just happy. The pros are wandering around on the floor.
Exactly.
Like you could just run into anybody and there's not this sense of a mob ready to pounce on them. You know? Those are the cons I like. Those are the ones I like.
It's going to be like that. It's definitely smaller and it'll be in that vein for sure. So it'll be fun. Father's Day, why not? I can hang out there and it'll all be good. And
there you go.
But I want to get your take because I think both of you will appreciate this. So Joe sent me a reminder, but fortunately I was on the same wavelength as him. It's Mark Gruenwald's birthday today.
Oh crap! Happy birthday!
Yeah, so both of you, I'm sure, read plenty of issues with Mark Gruenwald that you enjoyed. What was kind of your highlight? I mean, I
loved his Squadron Supreme. Right.
Oh yeah.
That was really the only time that I liked them where they weren't just Justice League ripoffs. That he did something with it that was interesting.
Yeah.
I own that. The things you've displayed, I own all those comics. I might be a Hawkeye fan because of him.
Yeah.
I love Hawkeye, and I got all the Hawkeye solo stuff. It wasn't always great, but I always loved it.
I feel like Hawkeye, I mean, Gruenwald did a lot of work to build Hawkeye's character, which they then seem to dismantle.
Yeah, that happens, right? Like it's hard because I mean, I'm having that issue right now where you have to address, or you have to at least take into account everything that's come before, but not every writer did that. I don't drink, so that's not going to work. I sometimes if somebody does something that's really exceptional with a character that hasn't been illuminated, I feel like you should let that stand. Like, maybe that's why I was buying those Hawkeye issues. Maybe that's why it was. He did a great job with it.
Yeah, I of course I'm very fond of his Captain America run. I think, which is kind of a sucker answer, but it is like it was such a great run. It was a lot of comics, and it was they have mined it for TV. It's been really enjoyable.
And his editorial hand. I mean, he was the editor on Avengers for a big chunk of Roger Stern's run on that. Like,
oh man, that was great.
Yeah.
Stern, also an unsung hero. Like, I know it's not his birthday, but yeah, those guys, they're almost like apex regular comic book writer. They weren't the breakout ones that everyone wants to talk about now, but pound for pound, they put in a lot of freaking great work.
They did, and I think there was an art to what he did. I think that is it's underappreciated today, and I mean, maybe I'm mistaken, but has anyone, and obviously after somebody passes away, they don't remember the bad stories, but I've never heard a bad story about Gruenwald.
Me either. Did he do the thing with the Buckies in Captain America? Was he on that watch with the, did he create the U.S. agent?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I have a story about that where Dwayne McDuffie, who was a friend of mine, mentioned to him this thing with the Buckies. I know that's not intentional, but you're not going to have to. Dwayne didn't talk like that. I talk like that. He's like, this was not intentional, but it might land wrong if you keep Lamar's name Bucky. And to which Gruenwald was like, wait, what? Oh, fuck no. And changed it instantly. Like, wasn't even a conversation. He was like, that was not my intent. I'm not doing that. I don't want anyone to misconstrue it. And he became Battlestar. Yeah. Like, pretty much instantly. That's what I heard from Dwayne. That's Dwayne's side of it. Nice. So, and I always took that to heart. And I was like, I wasn't like I had one negative feeling about the guy prior to that. But a lot of writers would be like, hey, it's my story. Suck it up. Yeah. You know, too bad for those idiots. I didn't mean that. And I'm not worrying about that. You know, that's not what I meant. So too bad if you think that. And he didn't do that. He immediately was like, oh shit. No, I don't want that. Battlestar is now born.
He was a class guy. I mean, he was sensitive to what other people were telling him, but he also didn't jump, like you just mentioned. He didn't jump at things. He did what he thought was right, and he stood behind it. And I thought he was a absolutely great guy in comics.
Yeah, I would say a perfect representative of what a comics writer ought to be.
Yeah,
if that's what you want to do, like. But we talk in the show about how great Shooter was as an editor, regardless of his. Some people didn't like his manner sometimes, but pound for pound, I can't think of a better editor in chief. Roger Stern needs a hell of a lot more love than he gets. Yeah. It's not because these are guys I grew up with. Like, if you look at their stories now, they're fucking good. Like, they hold up. Like, they don't disappear into antiquity, right? Yep. Like, some of the earlier things, you're like, okay, this was a time and place. Like all that Superman spanking everybody. That's a time and place. You can't really.
We'll see some of that later, maybe. So
the saddest thing of all here is if Mark were still around, he'd only be 68.
Oh man.
Yeah, he'd still be going, or he should be going.
I mean, we've interviewed older comics creators here.
Yeah.
Like it's it's insane. That was I think a lot of people, if you weren't there at the time paying attention to this kind of stuff, it's hard to recreate the impact of Mark's very sudden passing.
Yeah, right. Was it cancer?
I think it was very unexpected. He went very quickly.
Oh
yeah,
fuck,
he did.
Man.
There was very little notice, and it was. I mean, it was a big blow. It happened during a period of time where I think a lot of things were going on. So it's not like it went unnoticed, but the impact of it, I think, it took a lot of time. And I maybe, somebody in the chat saying this. I thought it was a heart attack or heart related, but it was very sudden. And
that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too. Frankly,
yeah. It's all very It's sad. You hope that those sort of things, 25 or so years later, that we're a little better off medically, that maybe people would survive these sort of things a little better. Who knows? But
yeah, and who knows where he was if that's what happened. Who knows where he was when it happened? Yeah. Medical technology is only good if you can get to it.
Yeah, so, or even being able to screen these sort of things and catch them early. But yeah, it's crazy.
Wait a minute. If Ilfidlor says his ashes went into that, is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Holy fuck!
It's true. Wait, what?
That they put his ashes in the ink for some comics. I think Glenn Greenberg, when we talked to him, had he either mentioned that or set it off?
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah,
okay,
you're right.
He's a fucking G. That's a G move. God damn.
Yep.
That is insane. Yeah, I have completely, absolutely forgotten about that. You're right. Glenn Greenwald mentioned that in our interview, and that is insane. Well, I mean, God, what more can you give to comics than that?
Yeah,
that's his message. I gave my all. I literally gave. Dude, I'm raising a glass that I don't even drink to that. Holy shit! Well, that's a Viking funeral for your ass. God damn.
There you go. All right. Well, Mark Gruenwald, absolutely. We talk. I mean, there's so much, negativity and other stuff going in comics. Here's a guy who is nothing but positive. And happy birthday to Mark Gruenwald.
Happy fucking birthday, King. Birthday. Rest in power, motherfucker. God damn.
So this is a bad segue, but no, it's a good segue. Sorry, this is a good segue. I was mistaken in what was coming up. Completely mistaken. You'll know what I mean in a moment.
Okay.
Geoff, it's been a bit since we had you on. Another issue has come out. I wanted to talk to you about Green Lantern and tell us what's going on right now.
Okay. Well, what you saw is a little bit of a slowdown. Obviously, the first two issues were pretty bombastic, I would say. We did a lot in a short span, but also it was really cosmic and really sort of epic vibe, giant monsters and killing a guardian and blowing up the battery and all of that shit. So these two issues, 3 is up and 4 is coming, obviously. They're more of a slowdown. You can't blow up the universe every issue. I don't want to try that anyway. So you're seeing some new stuff. I really hope that at the end of this arc, when you go back and reread, because you will, goddamn you, reread the first few issues, that you'll see a lot is being given to you that you're going to need later. Maybe more than you think.
Yep.
And we're introducing some of the characters that will be players on 1,000. How dare you underestimate me? How dare you underestimate me? 1,000. Get a grip. You better up that number by at least 2. At least twice that number. Yeah, we're shaping it into this thing that I'm still sort of weirded out that DC's letting me do. Oh, thank you, Nerdette. It is, I mean, part of the fun of it, when I say I'm happy that they're letting us do this, it's not that they're letting us do anything. Geoff Johns came in and basically revamped the entire concept. People forget that the company had to sign off on all of that, which had never been done before, So once it's established and it's such a seminal run that, and this is whether you like it or not. This is what I was trying to impress upon people. These are the facts of the canon. So you have to take these things into account. That the advent of all of that, that's a big deal. And the idea that they would let us take any kind of a left turn, Hal is safe. Hal is safe.
Hal is safe.
Hal is safe from death. But as with Kyle, I told somebody else, you may pray, you may retroactively pray that I killed some of these people. The people that survived are not necessarily the lucky ones. I'm just telling you. I did not come here with a rose in my hand. Okay. But yeah, so I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a bumpier ride. I'm trying to juggle as clearly. I hope it's clear now. I'm trying to juggle this very complex and long past. Right. Thank you, Paul. Yes. And try to tilt it in a way that opens it up. I hope when I'm forced to put this down, that whoever comes next has enough fun shit to do.
Yeah.
That it doesn't even matter. You know what? I almost did something like that, but
Green Lantern Gala, did you?
Yeah. I was going to start posting a wardrobe of my Green Lanterns at their Green Lantern Gala, but I thought
some trolling.
It sounds like fun, but immediately everyone would think I was trolling, and I wouldn't be.
Sort of, yeah.
I know some people hate it, but I'm either indifferent to it or, frankly, as much as anyway. That's a whole. Let's just wait. That's till a whole other topic. Let's just wait till we get there. But yeah, so for Green Lantern. Everything that's happening is on purpose. There are no missteps. I'm giggling at all the predictions about what I'm definitely going to do. Like, I'm not punking out Hal. I'm not killing the people you thought I was going to kill. I'm killing a whole bunch of other people. Yeah. it's not about the killing. It's about where we're trying to take these characters and hopefully at the end of the arc, leave them in a place where, oh, I don't know if this is news or not, but at least according to DC, I get to do a second arc.
Hey, so, congratulations.
Amazing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, the contracts are not what they used to be. None of us apparently get exclusive contracts. It never occurred to me to ask for one, but you're getting to that point where you have to tell them what to put into the solicits, and those are months out. So I'm like, am I going to have to tell you what's in this next arc, which I barely know what it is? I sort of have the shape of it. Am I going to have to lock down on any of these concepts? And they're like, yeah, what are you, stupid? Of course. And I was like, I'm not stupid. You guys didn't tell me anything. So, they're like, yeah, it's fine. Go for it. So there'll definitely be a second arc, which means some of the things that people are going to be upset about at the end of the arc, like some characters are going to be, some of the Green Lanterns are going to be left missing by the end of this arc. That's not an accident. It's not because I don't like them. Okay. It's that I have a plan for them that I didn't know if I was going to be allowed to enact. So now I know I can go forward with them. Yes. But nothing's by accident.
So, okay. So basically you're telling us that you've got a story and plans longer than one trade paperback. That's awesome.
Yes. Fucking A, man. Well, you know what it is, guys. You know, you guys read. You're probably more in tune with this. I try to stay off of the sort of backstage of it all. I know that sounds freaky, but the company's been changing hands so much that my Hollywood. I know, right? My Hollywood training tells me every time a company changes hands, people who are in process on something better duck and run for cover.
Right.
You know, and since they're letting me take these swings with this concept, I was very nervous about, you know, am I going to get to keep going? Basically, they could just decide, nope, there are no more Green Lanterns. It's just going to be Hal, or much to other people's chagrin, they could just as easily decide no more Green Lanterns. It's just going to be Joe going forward. Like whatever my suggestion was, they wouldn't care. The company might just decide we want it to all be teenagers. It's just Teen Lantern now. Yeah. Hello, John. Yeah. Thank you. That hasn't happened. Apparently, what's going on is the guys are being left to. Nobody's messing with anything until the dust settles on all of this stuff. So, because it's going to take a certain amount of months to a year to finalize the acquisitions and mergers and all of that shit. Kill Kilowog again. Revisit that and see if you prefer that I kill Kilowog.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm just telling you, nobody is safe except Hal and Rotlop Fan. Those are the only people that are safe. But yeah, man, we're gonna have some fun. Poor Kelly. Poor Kelly.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy to hear this, and I hope that they can kind of extend some of that to the artist as well, and get some. You've worked with some great people, but I'm hoping for some consistency with some art.
I've seen that criticism a bit, and really the only inconsistency was Dexter coming in.
Right.
Initially, it was going to be I don't want to say initially. When we first started out, it was just going to be me and Tom. And then because of editorial things, all kinds of stuff that I'm probably not allowed to say, the shape of what the Green Lantern book was going to be went through a large mutation from my pitch to when it got into people's hands. And some of that mutation required the bringing in of other artists. And I would be very happy if going forward it was just Dexter. If it was just, I don't know if Dexter's coming back or not. That's sort of not my call. But if it was me, Marco, and Tom going forward perpetually, I would be happy to lock down on that. I would be so happy to lock down on that. And it's nothing against any other artists. I never even met Marco before, but both of them are drawing some stuff in upcoming books that I'm just like, holy jumping shit, you know. Anything, and not to just talk about me and Green Lantern all the time, but Joe, I'm sure you can talk about this too. Sure. Anytime you get art back from something you wrote and you're reading it, you're looking at the art with the letters and the colors finally it look like a comic book, and you forget you wrote it, you're just reading a comic book. That to me is a win. Yeah. Right? Like holy shit, you guys, like they're bringing their A game. They're putting their stamp on this book in a way that I am not even putting my stamp on this book. Like, and I'm asking them to design and create things visually where I'll write in the text of the thing, this looks like this, right? So like Dexter designed Eurydion. Like all I said was she's a fairy princess made out of water. Do your thing. Yeah. You know, so a lot of these characters are just coming out of these guys' heads, and I'm enjoying the surprises just as much as I hope. I feel like it makes me the audience, and if they surprise me and put a smile on my face, it's a pretty good indication that the audience will do that too. So I'm happy. I didn't think I was going to want to stick around, frankly. I thought, you know, they're probably going to cut me, so let me just tell my little story and get the hell out of Dodge. And as soon as we got to like issue 3, I was like, oh man, I hope they let me stay on this. And really, I'm not a John Stewart fanboy in the way people think. He's on my list of characters I really like, but my favorite character is Marvel's Prowler, Hobie Brown. Yeah. I would probably push him in front of a bus to get a chance to do that character. But I did not expect to want to write this in the same way I didn't give a shit about the Teen Lantern when they said you got to use the Teen Lantern. And I was like, really? It's a pun. You know, like I'm not a fan of puns. I'm like, well, you're using her. And I'm like, all right, fine. And now I'm in love with it. You know, yeah. And it's sort of the same thing with the book. Like I would like to stay as long as the audience wants me and as long as DC lets me. I would like to stay on the book.
Well, first of all, I'd love to see on Prowler. And
oh fuck, man.
Let's definitely make that happen. Or you can just take Spider-Man. I hear it's open now.
I don't want that. I don't want Peter.
Well, what you could do is you could take Spider-Man and then you kill off Peter Parker and you put Prowler in the mask and you just make everyone hate you.
Oh dear God! Yeah, because I already have that. I already have my taste of that shit. No, thank you.
But congratulations! Second arc is wonderful news. I love the consistency, and I'm glad. I mean, I almost think every story gets better if people are given more time. In almost,
I agree with that.
So I agree with that. I'm very, very glad to hear that. Lots of great questions and other things.
I can't see that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, you answered this before, so I don't want to make you go through it all, but
okay.
Very, very briefly, how much did change from 5D to Future State, if you can comment on it?
Okay. Different creators are going to say different things.
Sure.
Because we all came in at different stages of the process. So there are people who are deep in the comics, deep in the DC comics, who are probably in at the beginning of the whole 5G project. When I got brought in, 5G was a name, and I think I told you guys this, the wall that they had that sort of mapped out what 5G was going to be.
Yep.
Was like looking at fucking Oppenheimer's descriptions of the atomic bomb. Like, you know, like I'm lucky I have a physics degree that I can sort of understand this because I know comics well, but I would have defied any layperson to even understand what the fuck that was on that wall, right? Yeah. It was a big deal. It was a huge deal. And I was not really I wasn't one of the architects. They were able to, when I pitched them all the stories I pitched them, Dan, is it Didio or Didio? I can never make up my mind.
You know, it's like Mark Millar Miller. You can kind of say.
So Dan,
we are breaking. We will talk to him in the next 2 weeks. So we finally have a week where we're going to get a date on that week. So we're excited about that.
He was great. It was great, and we had a nice talk. And I pitched him a whole bunch of stuff. One day I'll tell you my Blackhawk pitch, and if you think you hate me now, oh my God! But he said we want to do that John Stewart story, and we're going to blow up the battery. That was basically the only thing that came out of 5G that influenced my pitch for Green Lantern. Everything that happened to Green Lantern that turned it into the book you guys have got happened after 5G was done, because when Dan brought me in, he was canned or left. I don't know the deal there. Yeah. Either he was fired or he left. I don't know.
Well, let's go with the first one. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Sure. That was 2 weeks after I was brought in. I basically had handed off a paragraph to a page outline of what was going to be this little John Stewart story. And then he was gone. And then 3 to 4 weeks later, I get another call from another editor who I had not yet met at that time, who's now my editor, Michael. And it's like, so we want to go forward with the Jon Stewart thing if you still want to. So there was a period of time where we were sort of mapping out what that would be. And there was a whole lot of stuff about what the Green Lantern would have been, which after the book's over, when I'm allowed to, I will describe all the processes that went into that. But it was a very different version of what you're seeing right now, just in terms of how the comic is being delivered even. Like, just, they had a whole lot of plans. And so I was sort of mapping out what was now going to be a bigger arc involving still just John. There's a second half to that, and I can't say what it is because I'm not sure I'm legally allowed to.
Yep. No.
But okay. And then while we're doing that, they hit me with, "Hey, we're going to do this Future State thing," and I was like, "What the hell is Future State?" And they're like, and they described what Future State was, and I said, "Okay, you know that at this stage, if we were to extend John's story out, in this case, in my case, 15 years." Where he'll be in the story will be some really weird space from a fan of Green Lantern's point of view, because based on all the things we have to deal with, 14, 15 years later, it's going to look weird. And they're like, "We don't care. Go for it. Go for it." Like,
we don't care. Go for it.
Well, they didn't say we don't care. They're saying we want that jolt. That's the jolt we want. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. So I was like, all right, so let me set this main story aside. Let me quickly figure out where John is in 15 years according to this one particular timeline, and write that. So I did that, and I came back to the main thing. So the main thing then mutated again because the company changed hands again, and different people were in charge. And again, you have to say what's being kept, what's not being kept. Luckily for me, most of the crap that I had already put on wax, they were like, "No, keep it. We're good with it. We're fine with it." I was told between Future State and you guys finding out that I was the Green Lantern writer, I was still not the only Green Lantern writer at that point. There was a different plan in place, even with the Future State stuff. And then after that came out, I was informed close to within days of the announcement at that convention, the Brazilian convention, that I was the solo Green Lantern writer. That's when, like, within a couple of days of that is when I found out I was going to be the guy. So, and then there was a little bit of retooling to go, okay, you're gonna run the whole book. And I say this to people, I have a lot of work to do in my other life, like a lot of fucking work to do. And it was the reason I pitched a small Jon Stewart story was because it was something I knew I could do and not let anybody on any side of this down, because it would be, between 5 and 10 issues and be done. With this, it was like an undertaking. But the answer to the question, it's kind of like in Ghostbusters, when they ask you, do you want to be the only writer on Green Lantern? The only acceptable answer is yes. Yeah. You have to say yes. So I did, thinking, maybe that's anyway. So 5G really did not have anything to do with what I came to do and what I ended up doing. There wasn't any big shift. I have no idea what it would have been under DiDio, because we never got that far with it under DiDio. He was out before we could even enter into that discussion, and it was something else by the time I started writing. But I did get to see what 5G was, and my only issue with what he planned to do was that the speed with which they were rolling it out, I thought was going to be rough on a lot of the fans. For me, I would have been like, "Wow, that's a bold move, Cotton." Is what I was like. Even in the room, I was like, "Wait, you're just going to drop this on people?" And he was like, "Yeah, we're just going to go." Like, and I was like, "Huh." Okay, then. It could have worked. It could have worked. It was really bold, you guys. Like, and full disclosure, I was a huge critic of DiDio for a decade, easily. There's probably still stuff up on the web that I said where I thought they were doing the wrong thing.
Well, Bleeding Cool find it for you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. God, we can count on them. God bless them, little angels.
Yeah.
But when I looked at this thing, he could see the look on my face, and he was like, "Yeah, we get that a lot." I was like, "What the fuck, man?" And he's like, "We asked everybody who had something reasonable to contribute, the janitor, a random passerby, like people in marketing, people in design, anything that we thought would make this work. And I have to say, as a former and long-term critic, aggressive, I feel like they threaded almost every needle with it. I feel like it's getting a lot of undeserved sort of weirdness. They tried to accommodate old fans and new fans. To my mind as a writer, I was like, this could work. The only problem was the speed at which you're rolling it out. Like you have to let people accommodate to this.
Having talked to a few people now, I've started to come to the conclusion of the thing that did the biggest disservice to that launch was the new site. Well, yeah. Well, the new site that leaked a lot of that, I think, really hurt it because it sent the whole conversation in a particular direction. But you guys have asked a lot of awesome questions to Geoff. Let me see if I can get to a few. But real quick, when Joe and I start our own comic company, so all your guests, the underutilized talent from the 80s and 90s can work there. When do you? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Fucking A, man.
Yes. I'm not even laughing. Yes. So there you go. Yes. Yeah. A lot of big things are going to happen.
No, if we get in a position like that, we'll just drag Bill Mantlo out of retirement. Fuck it.
Sure.
Fucking A.
Yeah. Do it.
Nothing is accidental, and I take care of everybody. So we will definitely. Yeah. Teen Sinestro. What do you think?
I think you guys are going to very much enjoy what we do with Sinestro. That's what I think. I think I was not prepared for how much I fucking love Sinestro. When I wrote that little speech in issue 1, I was like, holy shit, this guy's fucking awesome. Like, I have to make sure he doesn't take over the book now. I see what the problem a lot of other writers have had. But what we're going to do with Sinestro, holy shit, man. I am so hyped for this. I don't even know what to say. So, Teen Sinestro, that's the least of your fucking worries. Holy shit. Oh, man. Someone asked, am I going to make Hal a villain? I told you, Hal is safe.
Hal's safe. Joe, people are for some reason speculating on your outfit for the X-Men gala.
You know what? I did see Eric Palicki's outfit. He was in X-Corp #2 with his sister, Adrian. And look, I got to tell you something here about that was very disappointing was the artist, I don't know who, and I'm sure it wasn't their fault or anything like that, but Adrian Palicki's 6 feet tall, and she was drawn like a very tiny woman. So it was that was a little jarring to see. But whatever my outfit is, I'm going to look better than Eric.
Wait, are you actually at the gala?
No, I'm not at the gala, but my buddy Eric Palicki is, and he couldn't get me in. What a jerk!
Well, at least someone
what a jerk!
I didn't get invited.
Yeah.
I put Jerry Duggan in Mosaic, and I didn't get a fucking gala invite.
Wow! And there's a whole planet of X-Men now. You know, couldn't find room for you on a planet.
Whatever, Jerry. I will find you, man.
Jeez, that's not fair. Come on, Jerry. When are we going to get Jerry on with the two of us? We should bring Jerry to be the four of us. It'll be fun. Yeah,
he's great.
We need to get him to come into one of these. We'll see if we can get him a drink. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, speaking of drinks, it's the right time. This is where I'm going for. So,
God.
Oh no!
Yeah.
God damn it! Here we go.
What's your opinion? Do real heroes give an Australian kiss?
I mean, well, honestly, that's a very, very large answer to that question.
It depends on the hero.
That's the simple answer. Yes. It depends on what you think superhero comics are for, is what it boils down to. Yeah. Personally, I think I put this on my Twitter feed. I write adventure and I write romance. I'm not really interested in the hydraulics. I don't need to see what positions the Vision and Wanda prefer. I don't give a fuck. To me, that's wasted page space where I could be using it to tell a story. Unless the way Bruce and Selena fuck has something to do with the plot, like later on, that's going to be relevant to whether they get out of a trap or he makes some decision or she makes some decision based on being salty about not being satisfied properly. I don't even know what the plot point would be, but if it's not part of the fucking plot, I don't need to see it. So to me, it's a waste of space.
Well, it's just like season 2 of Buffy, where Buffy fucks Angel, and then that causes him to become a villain again.
Yes, exactly. It has to have some consequence that is real, not just, ooh, neat, look at those bodies. I'm just like, really, guys? Come on. But that's me. That's my view. Like, I would never write that. I will never write that. And if I want to do that, I'm going to use the Midnighter and Apollo. They're adult heroes for grown-ups, right? Yes. I don't need to see Captain America naked. Although I'm perfectly happy with Emma Frost going, I could get with that, and everyone going, no, you really couldn't. Like, that shit is hysterical.
You're his mom. That's perfect.
Yeah, like, no way. You look like his mom. It's never happening. It's like, oh my God. But
some comics, like, it's fun. On one hand, I mean, I have been there behind the counter and I've heard a million questions of all sorts about comics. And, it's fun. It's fun to speculate. But the crazy part is, and maybe this is just me, I don't think a lot of the customers who are in the shop asking these questions, wondering if the thing is circumcised or not. I mean, stuff like that. Like, I don't think the customers want an answer to that. Like, they're happy to kind of just debate and joke and laugh about it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's begging to open up a comic and get a definitive in-canon answer.
Yeah, I don't need to know that. I just, but there have been comics, as much as we talk shit about, not we, but some people talk shit about John Byrne's run on She-Hulk. There was a sexy component of that, and I don't think it was prurient, and it was played for humor, and it often informed the plot. Her personality was she liked sex, and she liked boys, so she sometimes went and found boys to have sex with. But it wasn't played like, hey, now let's watch her have sex with this boy.
Yeah,
it was like, it was all about the fun element. And, I think one time her and White Wingfoot broke a bed, if I'm recalling that properly.
Yeah.
But I don't need to see them actually breaking it. That's not interesting. What's fun is the aftermath.
Perfect.
That's funny.
I 100% agree with you. That's the fun part in the comic. You don't need to. You can leave that part to your imagination, wherever you want to go with that imagination.
Shut up, you are.
Something happened, like when Tumblr was happening, that broke so many minds, and then they came to Twitter of all of these deranged people who are obsessed with shipping and deeply understanding the sex lives of fictional characters.
Yeah, it's not necessary. I don't know. Hey, Herman, did I ever work for the big two? Well, I'll be honest with you. I've worked for one of the big two, and I've worked for both of the big two's big two, if that makes any sense.
Oh, really? Holy shit. I understood that. What the fuck?
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow.
It's a crazy time. Yeah. I'll turn on that. Well, we'll turn on the camera later. I can show Geoff some stuff that will prove it. Well, but anyway.
You hide your fucking light under a barrel. You're asking draw. I was pleasantly shocked when you started displaying your talents.
It is a hobby. I mean, and I enjoy it as a hobby. That's
same.
That's how I like it. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be the next 6 months are going to be weird, and I definitely am looking forward to Emerald City Comic Con. I think we're going to do something. I'm going to rent a room out, I think. And
what is the date? You have to keep me up on the dates for that. It is my inclination to try and meet you guys up there.
Perfect. We're going to get that. It's in December. I know.
Okay, so
it's early December. It's like at the start.
Okay, let's keep that in mind. And if I can't make it, it won't be for lack of trying.
Yeah, we'll do it. I've got a place. We'll get a room and we'll put the camera up, and that's the right time to do the face reveal, because then nobody cares about my face, but we'll care about having a good time with some drinks. It'll be good times.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get to actually watch you get drunk instead of just hear you get drunk.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll have somebody. We'll just let the camera fall off the table at some point. It'll be good. All right. Well, I found this entire debate.
Fuck you, Mumbles.
Yeah. Does Batman go down? Probably. I mean, or not. Who cares? Like,
that's the answer. Who cares?
Yeah. Catwoman seems happy. That's all I know. So whatever she's doing, it seems to work.
And based on what we know of Selena, if she stays with this dude, he's ringing the bells. That's all you need to know.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, the other thing here too, though, which I'm surprised no one mentioned, is clearly in a world where Batman's going down on Selena, Selena has an OnlyFans.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you?
How are we not talking about Selena's OnlyFans? Why are we stopping here? Let's just go crazy.
Now you know you're going to see that. Why would you say that? Now it's going to fucking happen.
I mean, why are we stopping with this? I mean, does Batman go back to front? What does he do exactly?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, now I just want to see some asses. Now I'm the asses won't bother me anymore.
Well, let's get to that. So,
yes.
Yeah. So good news for Joe. We have a dip before next week's Death Week of comics. So only 90 new comics this week. I think next week tops 160, as I recall. So
no. It's too many comics, folks.
It's too many comics. 90 comics next week. Image matching Marvel next week.
Wow. Holy crap.
For books out. Yeah.
Is that unusual?
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, and I'm seeing, and I think it's Eric Larson is the responsible reason. There was this tweet that I think he did talking about how it was about piracy, and it kind of linked to if we pirate too much, then the big two are going to stop making comics and just print old stuff, and that generated a whole new round of rumors that comics are dying and everything else. But what people need to remember is that Marvel's putting out more than 60 comics a month right now. And DC, remember that horror story that they were putting out 52 and then they dropped their line. September, they're back to 52. Like they're putting out tons of books. No problem.
Not to disagree with Mr. Larson. He's certainly been in this and more deeply than me for a lot longer. But I would consider the rumor that either of these companies is going to just start reprinting their back catalog in any time in the near future is just a rumor.
It's yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. I people kind of misunderstand sometimes when I say this, but like I would welcome Marvel and DC cutting back. It would be healthy if they did.
Yes.
Like, please do. I would like, and I think other fans have probably said this. I don't think of myself as a Marvel or DC employee. I consider myself a freelancer working on Green Lantern. My opinion about what DC should or shouldn't do isn't based on some sort of information that I have from backstage. I don't mind the number of books they put out, but they got too many goddamn Bat books out. Like those spaces could be filled up with other things that aren't Bat related. And I think the fans would get would make the Bat concept more unique, more special, because you can only get it in a couple places. And those slots could be filled with what we might consider tryouts, miniseries. And, not that I'm in love with Vixen, but the first one that popped in my head, Vixen or Son of fucking Vulcan, like somebody that the audience doesn't even remember. Let them have a first issue special or DC showcase. You don't need 90 Bat books. You just don't.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It's too many.
It used to be something that kind of meant something, but now it's like weird if you're an artist that's worked for DC and haven't drawn Batman.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's too many. I will do it analysis, but Batman comprises more than 50%. Batman.
That's some craziness.
Harley Quinn, everything. Yeah. It's too many. I mean, it's just, I'm on one hand, if you're a comic customer and you're happy, you're just picking what you want, it's a great time. You've got lots of options, but it's too many to sustain. And we need to start getting our heads around that. Somebody asked earlier, and I quickly went to the Excel and checked out the next week where you have more than 160 comics. If you were to buy them all, like you just buy everything that week, you are spending $912.
Holy fucking shit.
So,
God
good
damn.
times. Yeah. Good times. How about Mumbles? I'm glad you're in the chat here, Mumbles. I looked at you in chat. It's good to see you. Always a guy who keeps me humble here on there. He's asking to relaunch Beckstar.
It's not even finished yet.
Beckstar number 2. How Beckstar is doing very well. I hear it's doing well. The shops up in this area say it's selling out.
Yeah, I've been hearing stuff like that. I've been
it's good.
Sold out at like local shops here. It's going to second printing and all that. So yeah, it's been nice.
Congrats to you.
Thank you.
Bury the fucking lead. It's going to second printing. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's congratulations. You deserve the success for sure.
Thanks, baby. That book's good.
Yeah, come on. And you do have a Kickstarter out right now.
Yeah.
And people should check it out. And that is
sure. It's was it Deadbeats 2, London Calling. The London Calling part was Eric Palicki. The bastard who wouldn't let me into the Hellfire Gallery.
Screw him. Yeah.
But
Elaine, sorry.
But no, it's it's a great anthology. Work done. Got some short stories in there from Nancy Collins and Bill Loebs, who've both been on the channel before. Ron Mars, Jamal Eigel, Lila Sturgis. It's a good crew. A lot of Jody Hauser. So.
I got a Bill Loebs commission this week, sitting on my desk right here. So awesome. And definitely people should check that. I mean, he'll do commissions very cheap for you. You get original art from Bill Loebs, which is pretty awesome. So, well done. Okay, well, let's quickly go through this. We got more fun stuff, but curious, Joe, Geoff, things that anything on here you're looking at.
Brian
Hill's Chariot. It's been a good book.
I haven't sampled any of the AWA stuff, so not for any reason. I just haven't. It wasn't on my radar until recently, so I have to come back to you on that.
Okay. No worries.
What am I looking at?
It's a lot. Again, I'm thinking, and part of if I do wind up traveling and taking some weeks, I'm going to try and reformat this section so you can see some previews of it, because it just becomes this list. In many ways, I'm inflicting the people watching us right now. This is what a retailer's staring at, and it's like Bequest number 4. Sure, maybe. Like, what do you do with that?
There's a lot of books out there, but I mean, okay, like basically none of the books on this list are books I'm currently reading.
Yeah, and there's probably some good ones on there if you knew.
Don't you think that this is? I talk about this in TV a lot. As much as people are bitching about sort of stuff the big two are doing, there is a huge sort of cornucopia of really well-made comic books coming out from people you never heard of.
As long as you can find them,
if you can find them. Like, I think there's so many that I can. Anything that Brian Hill's working on, you'd think I would just dive on it because the fucker can write, but I literally can't keep track of all the fucking companies at this point. I did not know this was a thing, and he's on issue 5 in this solicit anyway. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit, man!
What's Vietnam horror?
Redundant.
Yeah.
That's Behemoth, right? Yeah, that's.
I mean, this is a problem. How do people find out about the indie comic books? You don't.
You don't.
That's the problem. That is the fundamental problem. And I'll tell you, I'm going to keep doing it. And I've been talking to Scout and Red 5 and a couple other companies to get more of their information. And I'm going to start at least a couple times a week putting stuff out to talk about what books they have. But no offense, but when I put out those videos of stuff that's not, of the bigger comics, like they nobody watches them. Bluntly.
Yeah.
Really.
I don't care. I'm not in this for money, so I'm going to put more out and just nobody will watch anything. Mumbles will be happy because nobody's watching this stuff. But it's like there has to be a solution to this problem, I think. But
anyway. I mean, okay, what else we got?
Yep.
Something in Killing the Children is good.
Yep, definitely. Get a lot of praise and good luck. I'm hearing very good things about. So
I'm not reading any of these other books.
Yeah. But you'll wish you were reading the Dynamite books in a minute.
Well, I hear Sonic's 30th anniversary. It looks great for 30.
Okay.
There you go.
But yeah, Transformers Beast Wars. I hear mixed things about that comic. I enjoyed the show years ago, but watching it now, you really see how far CGI has come.
Really?
So it's like, because it's like one of those 3D animated movies or cartoons rather. So like it's very sparse now when you go back. Just the animation's a lot cheaper.
Oh, sure.
You originally think, especially
Something
on an older
TV.
This should absolutely be a variant cover title you do for Green Lanterns for sure.
Actually, I could just do that for fun. Something already killed the shit out of a bunch of Green Lanterns. We just don't have the list.
It's not something.
Yet.
It's Jeff. Jeff
it's
is
me.
killing.
You're talking to him.
Jeff is killing the Green Lanterns. Lady Baltimore. Lady Baltimore's pretty solid. I would definitely pick that up. That's a good book.
All right, I'll check it out. Dark Horse generally, even when I'm not paying attention, anytime I check in, they pretty much have a good array of books. So, all right, I'll check out Lady Baltimore. What the fuck?
Absolutely. So we're talking to Nick, and hopefully we'll get Nick on for an interview very shortly. Reached out to him today, but we get a little bit of everything, but it's more of a front heavy week for Dynamite.
They sure are front heavy.
I'm oddly less concerned. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's more timid. Yeah.
I don't care about any of these characters, but these covers are all fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the difference is because they're not less sexualized, but I guess the Vampirella 19 photo variant is the least sexualized. Perhaps maybe
she's just kind of hanging out there. Yeah.
Who's the Devil Lady? What book is that? Is that also Vampirella?
That's what Purgatory.
That's Purgatory.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the ladies look nice. This falls squarely into the cheesecake realm, which is not pornographic to me.
That's true. It's less exploitive this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's legit. A couple of these girls though must have chronic back pain.
Oh Christ. Well, boys have wishful thinking and then they draw it. So, that's true. Women have organs. Gravity works. Sorry about it, fellas.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry about it.
Yeah, there you have it. I like how Underboob is making a comeback. Like it seemed to go away for a while, and now it's.
I know. Didn't we miss this? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what COVID brought us. It brought it back.
It brought back under. I don't
know what I'm saying. Yeah.
I maybe that I like the butt too much. Maybe I'm responding to it too much, and this doesn't grab me as much. I don't know.
There you go.
We need to get you. We definitely need to get you writing Legion of Superheroes.
I would take a run at that. I would take a run at it, but it's the same problem you have with really any long thing like that, which has a billion characters and all that. Sort of similar to Green Lantern. You can't get better than a 50% happiness ratio because, like, if you get 50% of the audience going, "Yeah, that's great," you won because there's so many factions now. Yeah, And they're not wrong. None of them are wrong. My favorite is, we talked about this. I think Perch and I sort of line up. Giffen, Beer Bomb,
yes,
and DNA to some degree. They came in at the end of it. I love that. I love all the Legion eras. I even like Mark Waid's and the various pre-boot, reboots, like all of that. I love all of it. Jeff Johns' version. But my Legion is the Giffen through the end of DNA writing it. And I would probably do things with it that would piss off everyone who doesn't love that era. Yeah. So I would like it. I would like to try. I think these needles can be threaded because the sheer number of Legionnaires and the different worlds they're from, without even invoking the non-human Legionnaire, the non-human looking Legionnaires, I think you get around all these ridiculous, stupid arguments about diversity by just showing them. You don't have to, So I don't know if they ever offered it to me. I probably have a pitch, but I don't know. I don't know that book's ever, like, we all love it. People who love the Legion love the fucking Legion, like I do. But I don't know, and you and Joe will know better than me, Perch. Has it ever really been a good seller for DC?
Oh,
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time when it was the seller. I mean,
really,
Joe and I talked about this. It was when this is the late '60s, Joe, the '70s, early '70s.
Yeah, but I mean, at the team book explosion in the early '80s, they were one of the highest sellers.
Okay,
and you know they were number 2 to Teen Titans. I think they barely ever pushed past the Teen Titans, but still, yeah.
What I would probably do with it, what I think is best suited for the concept, is to do some sort of giant relaunch, like special edition book, like a double-sized or even 2 double-sized books sort of reinstituting the Legion, and then a series of discrete miniseries that don't necessarily even connect to each other, showing different squads of Legionnaires doing different adventures so that different creative teams could play around with the concept. You show the scope of where they actually are in the galaxy, how big the organization is. I think there's something like between 35 and 50 freaking active Legionnaires.
Yeah.
And I don't think any single writer should be required to handle all of that. But maybe the concept itself doesn't lend itself to that. Maybe what you want to see is individual adventures written and done by different creatives who want to use different Legionnaires so that it's always fresh. No one has to make this giant, crazy, unwieldy time commitment, and maybe editorial has to come in and go, over this year, we want the Legion to start at point A, and by the end of the year, we want them to be at point L. And then we're going to do all these little stories, which will add up to that. We do a big 2 at the beginning and a big 2 at the end, and then we go from there in the next round with new creators, taking it forward. It puts a lot more weight on editorial because they have to really know what the hell they're doing and what they really want to do with the concept. But end of the day, I think that's probably the only way that it can even work anymore.
Well, the 2 of you should get in there and do it. Let's get the 2 of you in there somehow, and both of you, you're the people who can do it. I'll draw a variant cover for you.
Okay, fair enough. We serve at the pleasure of the president, my friend.
I hope people like Starfinger because they're going to get a lot of Starfinger.
And why not? Why wouldn't we? If Hal goes evil again, well, the first part of your question really has no meaning. So I don't know how to answer the second part of your question because he's not going evil again on my watch.
Why would he wear a ring there? Like that's a terrible place to wear a ring.
It depends on the size of the ring. Oh, GL rings. But even those are variable, right? It depends on the Green Lantern, how big the ring is. So the answer to the question is I don't know. We'll have to check. Okay.
There you go. You're not going to check that.
I'm not going to check.
Bolby always asks some amazing questions. Yes, I absolutely will do a video talking about Acclaimed Comics. In fact, I've got that with some receipts and numbers. And
I'll definitely want to see that.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. There's both Acclaimed Comics and then there's also Hyped Comics, which is 2 different topics, both pretty interesting. So,
okay, you did a CrossGen one already, right?
I did, yeah.
Oh, poor CrossGen.
I feel bad for CrossGen. Well, yeah.
I wanted that to work so bad.
Yeah, so did I, man.
Thank you, sir.
Right, well, away from butts, we've got.
Really, that was so short because it wasn't butt related.
That's normally true. It's kind of I need to feed in more. Well, maybe we'll come back to it. So, okay. So, Batman Reptilian. I'm looking forward to seeing Garth Ennis take a run at Batman. Ooh. And Liam Sharp on that. That should be a good little book.
Ooh, yeah, I'll try that. And I don't even like Batman.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you're going to kill him soon, I hear. So
I know. Well, that's really the only reason they bring me into these things. It's like I murder everybody.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, murder all the. There's a bit. We get Infinite Frontier as well, which is the comic that DC certainly wants us to believe is going to lead to the next big crisis event. So,
I have before anyone even asks, I have no fucking clue what's in that book.
There you go.
Literally no idea what's in that book.
Somebody has this question, but we know this. Do you have to wear a GL ring on your finger? No, you can wear a lantern ring many places, right, Geoff?
Yes, that is correct, what Perch just said. And ironically enough, that will be addressed in this story.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right. Very, very good. Yeah, there's some nice things here. I'm liking the fact that Robin, we just got solicitations for September, and we've got 6 solid issues with the same artist. It's a Christmas miracle.
Holy shit!
Wow,
I know.
Are they aware they let that happen?
No, it has to be. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, editor dude, Joe. This is an issue that's come up because I've been hanging around with you guys. I never really paid attention to that. Is it unusual to keep the artist for any length of time, or are they just like, oh, God damn you, Iron? Is it unusual to keep artists for any length of time in a book these days? Like
these days, yeah, it seems to be the case.
Huh. I don't know that that's a smart play. Unless they suck.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I think
I don't see why you'd switch a team unless somebody's unhappy, or if one of them, either someone in the team is unhappy or someone's unhappy on the management level. I don't know what other reason you would have. If the fans hate it.
Everybody would like to see it continue. I mean, I've never met a single customer ever in 30 years who's come in and gone, man, I wish they'd just change the artist every issue. That would be great.
Unless that's the point, I don't know why you would do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, Image, we do get the launch of Spawn's Universe. So that's I know Brett's very excited about that. Todd's very excited about that. Lots of people getting pumped about putting that one out.
I hope it works. God bless.
I do too. I'm anxious. I think more little franchises are a great thing if they can make a run at it. And Todd is determined to. I mean, Todd has some willpower involved to make something happen. So I'm glad for that.
And he's written that character for what is it now? It's 30 years?
Yeah, since 93, right? 94?
I'm like, so close to 30. So I feel like Spawn's not my favorite character, but he's one of my favorite phenomena. Like the fact that these Image guys did this and that this particular one of them has kept this thing alive all this time. Like, and not in a creaky way. Like Spawn's been respectable since he dropped it. Like whether you like it or not. Like people fucking love Spawn. So bring it, baby. Let's have it. Go.
I know. I agree. I think I'm glad to see him pushing. I'm glad to see him pushing this stuff out, and I think it's time to make a run at it. And I hope it works, and I hope it encourages more people to go. And I think he's lined up a really nice cast of people to work on the comics. So
right, there's going to be multiple Spawn related books. So that why the fuck not? Let's have it. As a person currently writing Green Lantern, I would love to see some of these other universes blow up as big as Marvel or DC. I definitely want that to fucking happen. So do it.
Yeah. Was Undiscovered Country on hiatus for a bit?
It skipped. I mean, I don't know official hiatus, but it skipped months for sure. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, I don't remember it coming out recently.
What the hell is vinyl?
It's a new comic.
Okay, fair enough.
That's a terrible way to describe. I don't know. I will have to.
Okay,
I need to. I'm off my game. I'm not researching enough of what's coming out, so I need to take a look.
You got your hands full, man. I think you're forgiven.
Okay. What was it? It's an upsetting tale of psychopaths, sweet love, and a serial killer named Walter. When Walter's best friend, the FBI agent charged with his capture, is kidnapped by a death cult of all female sunflower farmers.
Okay.
Walter finds himself deep within an underground labyrinth filled with secrets and monsters, but are their monsters more horrific than his?
So it's just a documentary about my life then?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, I don't need to read that.
You should probably get legal on that now.
Yeah, I didn't sign away any certainly no likeness rights.
Yeah, because it's not out till Wednesday. You might be able to stop it.
You're gonna get fucking sued, you bastards.
You read that in the most exciting way possible, Joe.
I did. I started more enthused than I ended, and that was real.
You excited yourself by reading it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, psychopath, serial guy. All right. sunflower farmers. Just like,
yeah, it went off the rails with sunflower farmers, but maybe they can pull it back.
yeah.
Joe, anything? I mean, on this list, anything else you're looking forward to, Joe?
I'll check out By the Horns #3. I've only read the first issue so far, but that was interesting enough for a book about getting revenge on unicorns.
But those bastards deserve it.
Yeah, then you'll love it. That's how you feel.
No, vinyls from creators of plastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. It could work.
So they like petroleum products, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess so. They love straws. Well, Shadow Man #3, like the first issue of Shadow Man was fine. I don't think I read issue 2 yet, but
people seem to like it.
That's something. Hey,
you know, come back, Valiant. Come back to it.
Can't stop.
Absolutely,
you know, Valiant. Maybe Valiant's the one that's really been showing restraint all this time.
There you go. Valiant's doing what we all want.
That was their game plan.
Yeah.
Restraint.
Hello, Marvel. They couldn't reveal their master stroke or whatever.
I thought we weren't talking about Batman anymore, Joe.
I appreciate this cover to Gamma Flight. It's a variant, but I appreciate I appreciate this.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's a Pride Month variant.
No, this is not a Pride Month variant.
Pride Year variant.
Yeah, Pride Year variant. Pride all year. Anyway,
always be proud always.
Exactly.
I mean, Way of X I'm reading and liking.
Sure.
I'm thinking I'm oddly fond of Heroes Return, although I shouldn't be, I suppose.
That's fair.
But I am, so whatever. X-Men Legends, do we know who's going to be on that one at that
This
time?
is the second part of the Wheezy and Walt.
All right, worth a look. I mean, if you're old, you definitely should be looking at it. I don't know if young people are going to go for it.
That is an homage to the Wild, where the Wild Things are, for sure.
Yes, that's what.
Yes, that's not a Pride cover. Yes,
it's very good. It's a very good homage.
It's great.
I think a good question for everybody. I think Boom is the strongest in indie right now outside Image.
I would say so.
Yeah, no, they're definitely. I'm trying to think of someone else really comes close to that right now, unless there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been announced from Dark Horse yet that
I wish Dark Horse would take its spot back just because I'm
I do too. Yeah.
No, they put out really good stuff, but it just feels like they're still trying to find their footing after losing so many licenses.
Wait, they didn't just lose Star Wars, right? They also had Alien, didn't they?
They had Alien and they had the Joss Whedon stuff.
Yeah.
They lost it all in a very short period of time. Like it was like a 3-year window of like losing
body blow.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a tough one. But I would like to see them come and charge back. And I think hopefully they should be. And Xenoscope, we had Pat Chan on last week, and they are, as we said, they're sneaky strong. They have passionate fans, know what they want. And,
I don't know that I know any Xenoscope books.
It's they've got Man, Goat, and Buddy Man.
I don't know.
Which
they've got a niche that they understand. Man, Goat, and Buddy Man. Yes, absolutely.
That may seem like something for other people to enjoy.
There we go.
How about so curious about this? So with all the conversation about manga and definitely it feels like there's almost a stunt going on right now where people who are irritated at US comics, manga is like, well, look at manga's kicking your ass, and manga is doing very well. But my question for both of you is, does it last? Because in the US, we've seen manga blow up in the US and tank in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think how long do you think this current run goes?
I think it's a cycle. I don't have a feeling one way or the other about manga. Some stories are great. Others I could give a shit about, just like anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's really whatever youth culture decides they want to do instead of superheroes. So I don't know that there's anything necessary to learn from manga or to emulate. I think it's a different system. There's a too much. You know what? I don't know that it ever goes away, but it might settle down. I think that they have too much lateral. They link they link themselves to TV shows and movies in such a direct way that they have automatic advertisements in a way that neither Marvel nor DC really does. And they're fucking cheap comparatively for what you get.
Yeah.
And until someone figures a way to get those prices down or a kid can buy them, you're not going to win that race. So
it's true.
You know, the spike might not be as big as it is right now, but I think it'll always be present.
Yeah, there's two things working in manga's favor. One is definitely the price, where it's just cheaper to get thicker volumes of books.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing here, which is part of why, it gets more popular, less popular, is I feel like so many people get this wrong. They start thinking that a genre is popular, and it's not a genre. What's popular is a couple of IP.
Right.
And then people go like, oh, like this must be huge. If you took away the top 5 or top 10 manga and took them out of the equation, I think you see a significant drop in
for sure
how manga's doing.
You mean just like any other form of fiction? How crazy.
Exactly. So like that's really more how it works. So what if you get a situation where 3 or 5, like the top manga have now cycled out and that generation's over it and it's not picking up with the next generation, then manga tanks.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
It's true. No, it's absolutely true. I think manga, these are a little bit misleading. And some of the charts you've seen, there's been some people on social media and YouTube, I know, they've shown these charts showing like, look, it's dominating. But number one, they are taking out a lot of what's happening on Amazon. That's one thing. And two, they're weeding out Scholastic and everything from Dogman and Radio Telmeyer and other things. That list looks a lot different than reality. Right. But manga is definitely popular. The thing that struck me, so my kids finished their school up here in Washington this week. So they're out and chaos and rain. Yeah, but my older daughter, as a summer reading encouragement program, they got all the kids in like the top 2 grades in her school paid subscriptions to Jump.
Nice.
And number one, I now all the parents have to scramble to make sure that the adult controls are on, but
no shit.
It's kind of crazy. So this worries me, honestly, in terms of, not worries, but in terms of U.S. comics have got to get in the game, because you've got a school system in this area, thousands of children in the school system who now are going to be exposed all summer long to free manga. And, at a tiny price. I mean, I don't know what the school rate is, but I mean, it's free to us. And I'm already subscribing to it, but it's like, that is a whole generation that's now going to spend the summer checking out manga for stuff to do as one of their entertainment options. That's the stuff that's going to lose the race if people aren't careful.
Who, is it a particular company that's doing this? Like, is it like just one, like Shonen or whatever the name of the publishing houses are that has made this offer to the school system? Or is it sort of an outreach from multiple publishers?
I don't know. So it is the Jump app. So it's Shonen Jump is the one that they gave. And I don't know who or why this happened. I mean, took a lot of us by surprise, but it's like summer reading options. And there were several, like library subscriptions, some other things. And they had this, the Jump app, which like sign up here and you get a free sub for the next 3 months. And it's like, first of all, it's genius marketing from that company. But it is, that's nuts. I mean, and that's the stuff that if you're Marvel and you're DC, you have to start playing the game. That's the stuff that's.
I agree with you.
Out. Yeah.
I've obviously I chime in whenever you focus on Primer, a DC comic, or technically a DC graphic novel. And full disclosure, I know one of the writers personally, but it does really fucking well because it's really good. I think, well, first of all, I agree with everything you just said, but I don't know that the infrastructure is set up on either company to do what you just described.
It's not, for sure.
I think that someone has to really bite down on the fact, who are these comic books for? Who are these American superhero comic books for? And if you can't decide that, then you need to segment out a section of them. I don't know, the champions at Marvel, the actual Teen Titans or Young Justice at DC, where we're literally targeting this age group with this. There are plenty of people who know to write that stuff. There are plenty of people who can draw the hell out of it. And the model you just described, because they're going to be parents. They're going to look at Batman fucking Catwoman on a goddamn roof. And they're going to be like, this is not what I expect from Batman. So how am I supposed to subscribe? How am I supposed to let my school system do this? Now you have things that a school system can point to where the school board gets yelled at because not even the stuff that I don't think is controversial, like same-sex relationships and things like that. Someone's going to yell about that. I don't find that controversial at all. But the graphicness of some of these supposedly for teenagers comic books or young people comic books, you're not going to get past a lot of school boards in the US with that shit. So
true. Yeah.
Does Marvel or DC even want that headache? Considering the way that they're structured now, I don't know that they want to bite that off.
I don't know. And I don't know who did all this kind of stuff. All I know is my daughter's like, hey, I'm checking out Dead Man Wonderland, which is absolutely not something that she should be reading at 10. But anyway.
Well, you're her dad. You need to step in, Pop.
I step in. No, but it's like, you got to get your hands on it. It is, Joe, we've talked about this, that again, people, I don't know, forget or conveniently forget, whatever it is. There was this Marvel Mangaverse, and then it tanked about less than 20 years ago.
Yeah, early 2000s. And I think that was kind of around the same time when manga tanked like the first time, and they said it was pirating, and that pirating would always happen forever, and manga would never come back. Like that was the conversation was, once something starts being pirated, it can never be unpirated, and manga will never recover.
Yeah.
And we've seen both of those things dismissed outright.
Shocking.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't. Anyway, all right. So here's a question for both of you. So when do you walk away from the history? So all of us, I think, we respect, we like continuity, like digging into stuff. I'm enjoying your run because you are pulling things from history. But at what point do you just walk away from it? And there's a long list of things that probably people want to, Spider-Man was apparently molested when he was younger, and Supergirl was in a weird relationship with a horse human thing. And
that was weird.
Hal Jordan, was dating this underage girl, but then she really wasn't. But then Hal Jordan has this panel where he talks about, I need to show them I'm not a child molester, which is like,
you were him. You were Hal. Yes, you were.
Hal, what are you doing, Hal?
You were. Yes, you were, Hal.
What do you like? How do you, like, as a writer, you're coming to, and yourself, Joe, like, what do you do? Like, do you just quietly forget yourself? Like, just, do you walk away from it? You don't reference it, or like the Omniverse, everything counts. So,
well, according to DC, all of this happened. Yes.
Right.
Even the thing in Spider-Man.
Yeah. Even Spider-Man happened in their universe somehow. Yeah.
Okay. As a fan, I thought the Aricia thing was bullshit. I don't know why editorial, and this is as a kid, basically. I was a kid when this happened. I don't know why editorial signed off on it. I don't know why anyone pitched it. I don't know why any person of the many people involved in that storyline that nobody said, what the fuck are we doing? Right? Yeah. But this, and I love this arc, and it was horrible and disgusting on the Teen Titans at roughly the same time. Shut up, Ash. Just shut up. Remember, Deathstroke was sleeping with Tara, who wasn't even 16 yet.
Sure. Yeah, there was that too. Yeah.
We leave that out all the time now. And at the time, I was like, what the fuck? It's fine to show how awful Deathstroke is, but I'm like, dude, We did not need that to know. He's already a mass murderer. We didn't need to also be this. What the fuck? So yeah. I think it's a line too far. And when you come in to this long established continuities like that, I think you either erase it aggressively, if allowed to, or I guess you could cap off one or more of the characters so we'll never see them again. That's another option. Or you ignore it, but then someone's going to ask the question and then you can't ignore it. Eventually someone will ask the question. So I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of moments that it feels like, again, as continuity nut, I love to have them pull from some of this stuff, but some of this stuff, like whatever was going on here with Iron Man and Black Panther was a terrible mistake.
Good Christ. They just murdered those people, right?
Well, that's not the problem in that panel, but
what am I reading? I know I destroyed the local economy, but you can pay Mexicans $1 an hour and they still that's not real.
That is
nobody
real.
wrote that. That's real.
Yes.
And he's telling him to not say that. Okay, I can't say because you'll get hit by the algorithm.
Sure.
Just for future reference, I'm not shy of saying that word. It's a bullshit word, but I'm a writer. I have to say what the hell.
That was printed in a comic. Somebody thought that was a good idea.
Okay, and then the Black African, who probably has no emotional response to that word one way or the other, considering the country he's from, is like, be careful, I might get angry. Fuck that.
All in all, why
Tony Stark's a racist? Is that Tony in there, or is it Arno?
I mean, that's Tony-ish. This was
nope.
Joe, this was Jimis, I think, right?
Oh yeah,
this is Marvel, a famous comic. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
nope. Wait, Marvel created with a foolish bet against Peter David that you could write a comic better than Peter David.
Yeah.
Well, that explains everything. Burn it down. Burn that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
We've seen this where I went back and reread it lately because people want me to the Lois Lane who turned herself black for an issue.
I reread that recently too. Yeah.
What was it like? Why did she turn it into will Superman marry her or not? Like, what?
I don't understand what that has to do with anything.
Why? Was she trying to see if he was racist? Like, what was the plan?
Yeah, that was like the big emotional hook in the comic.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because his response would have to be, Lois, you're from a different species.
Yes.
I'm literally from a different genome than you. Everyone on Earth might as well be black or purple to me. I just I don't care about that. If I'm having sex with you, it's basically bestiality, regardless of which human being that I have sex with. I'm a superior alien being. I would just as easily have sex with a tree as one of you human beings.
That is a definitive take right there. Okay. By the way, everybody, go down on that like button like Batman. Never mind.
Oh my God.
It would be Batman. It would be go down on that like button like Dick Grayson.
There you go.
Oh.
He does the right
he goes down. Don't even.
And then we did now. Mark Millar has said that this wasn't technically in continuity, or he's not sure. It was because they did say it was out, but anyway, Trouble, where they revealed that Aunt May is also Peter Parker's mom because she was a big whore, apparently.
What?
Yeah. This is.
How do I miss these things?
These are comics.
I probably own this comic. I must have skimmed it. Oh my God. No, Stop it. Why are you hurting people?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the comics. So on one hand, people will say, why don't the writers respect history? And they should, but not maybe all the history.
Well, I don't know. Again, different writers, different creatives are going to have different viewpoints on these things. And it's art. So all of our viewpoints, however different they are, all of them are correct. It's art. It's not science. So there's no right answer. But for me, I feel like a lot of these people at various stages of their career really should have graduated to writing movies, TV, or novels. That they're trying to put things into a very thin concept. Superheroes. People in secret identities with powers beyond imagination. That's thin, man. I don't know that I need to know who Aunt May was fucking. Who cares? Like, she's Aunt May. Let her be Aunt May. I don't need that story.
I mean, May was. I mean, speaking of Dynamite, I mean, this was a key time in Marvel.
So wait, I'm looking at May, young May, right now.
Yes, you are. That is young.
Sorry, hard pass. She was born old. She was always Peter's aunt. She's been Aunt May since she was 11. Fuck off. Sorry about it.
Yeah, emotional roller coaster for you, for sure. I don't know.
Whatever, dude. I'm glad I missed this the first time around.
Joe, we have to do a live kind of reading because you've never read Marvel, right?
I've never read Marvel. No.
Okay.
Save yourself. Don't do it.
We're gonna get that comic. We're gonna do it live. We'll record it, and we'll just get your reaction in real time.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
May is really Peter's mom. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, it was the crux of the story was Aunt May's sex life. That was actually kind of the whole point of the story.
Yeah, hard pass. Yeah. Hard pass. Apparently, Aunt May's sex life was the story, and I'm not here for that.
Yeah,
I'm not here for it.
We got our first downvote during this segment, which makes sense. I can respect that. That makes sense.
The yellow lanterns are everywhere, Perch. They're everywhere.
No, but I mean, I would downvote this too. I mean, come on. Here's something on a more happy note. I'm curious for both of you. So just give your opinion. So pick this. So we'll see if this works or not. So, take a title. We're taking Wonder Woman for a moment.
Oh shit.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm curious. You're a creative team. From if you could pick any creator, any timeline, whatever it is, and people in the chat too, interested to hear what you want to say. Who's a creative team you put on this?
Holy shit.
No rules, people who have passed away, whatever it happens to be, just your dream team that you wish would do a comic. And then there's a couple from the past, from the current today comics, and then if you're doing this bullshit that they do where they bring in celebrity writers, who would you want to see take a crack at this thing?
The past, my artist would be Perez or Garcia, one of the two of them. Is that right, Garcia? I think so.
Yeah.
I think people probably forget, but Perez did for Wonder Woman. Perez's run on Wonder Woman. It doesn't really matter who the writer was. I think he was the driving story engine on those things. Yeah. You guys will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's true. Redefined Wonder Woman for the modern audience in exactly the same way that Chris Priest redefined the Black Panther for Marvel. I think that run cannot be overemphasized. Writer from that era?
Any era, actually.
From the past, it says. I'm looking at your list.
Yeah. So, the past could be yesterday, but yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's a tough one. There's a lot of great writers who could do her justice. God damn. I'm running through my head who I think would be really good on her. That came out wrong.
Batman.
Stop it. Please move on and I'll think of it.
John Stewart wouldn't have that problem. What about you, Joe?
So Wonder Woman, a past creative team?
Yeah.
Oh, Burn.
Yeah.
Burn. Writing. Yeah.
That's good. You know what? I'd pair back up Bill Loebs and Mike Deodato Jr.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
That was a good run.
That was a good run.
I went back after our interview and read a lot of Eric Luke's work, and I thought he really got Wonder Woman as well.
He really did.
Yeah.
Did he give her the did she have a pet chimera at one point? Was that him who did that? She had her floating little city.
Yeah,
the floating city.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a good run.
Yeah.
Present day?
Yeah.
Fuck. Lordy. Oh my God. Who's great right now? A bunch of people. Oh, Doc Shaner.
Oh, yeah. Shaner would be interesting.
On the art.
Yeah.
What's the lady who was writing Amethyst?
Amy Reeder.
Amy Reeder and Doc Shaner. I would like to see that.
Yeah.
Make that happen, universe.
How about you, Joe? What do you like? Let's burn some bridges with some of your friends.
No, for sure. This sounds great. God, jeez.
Whoa.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
Django, nice call.
Yeah, you went legend there. Very good.
I definitely want to see that fucking.
Yes, that
Jesus.
That would probably top everything, which would be good. You know what? What if what if we went? Here's a wild card for you, writer for Wonder Woman. That because it would be controversial, at least for people. Fuck it, Nick Spencer.
Why not?
Let's have Nick Spencer do Wonder Woman and artists. There's a lot of good artists, but oh jeez. Fuck.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, no, the artist part's hard.
I'll have to in the future. If we do this again, we'll send the question ahead of time.
And
well, there's just a lot of strong players these days. People forget that, but a lot of people can write and draw right now at level. Like they're great.
See, John Murphy has I'd love to see Wheezy and Walt. Particularly with what Walt did for Asgard and Thor. I'd love to see that.
Fucking A, bring that. Yeah, I would love to see that. Didn't even think of that. Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Billy Jones.
Oh, yeah. Joel Jones would be really good.
Joel Jones. Mumble says this is a terrible new segment. Thanks, Mumbles.
Yeah.
I'm just for future reference, Mumbles, just assume I said fuck you even when I'm quiet.
There you go. Just say
you know what? Who
that's a pairing right there. Yeah.
You know what a good pairing would be? Nick Spencer and Olivier Coupil.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm reading that book.
I'd like to see Olivier Coupil on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be an interesting choice.
Perch and Joe. Aw.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Maybe in an anthology. I don't know if I'd give him the whole book yet.
I wouldn't.
Together.
How are you? Yeah.
And outside of comics.
Yeah. George R.R. Martin has been a popular one here. I mean, you would get one issue every 5 years. So
there's two people I think would do a great job. Both of them are science fiction writers. I would have said Shannon McGuire, but she's in comics, so she doesn't count. I would say there's a science fiction writer called Lilith St. Croix, who is fucking amazing. And there's a husband and wife team who go by the name of Ilona Andrews. I think either of them would murder Wonder Woman in such a beautiful way that it's just not even funny. Like, Peter, David, and Ethan.
I don't know if that would work. I don't know the two of them would get together well, but I mean, fun comic or fun backstage show. I mean, it could go either way. Whatever.
Yeah, like am I reading the comic or am I just reading the byplay of the crime report when the cops write the crime blotter?
I would like to see. I'm with this Stefan Sajak. Yes, I'd love to see.
Nice call.
Yeah. That would be Vince McMahon. I've been trying to put up a lot
as a writer.
That I don't know how that would work. I sometimes question if Vince writes things down. So
or at all,
or
or knows how to write.
Yeah, put Joe on art. I agree. There you go. Lots of it's got Campbell, Joel Jones. Yeah, lots of good. Anyway, something to think about. There we go. All right, here we go, Geoff. Let's.
Oh dear God. Here we go. Where you been checking out the mommies? He's adorable. How old is he? One, yes, this is intentional, and two,
well, this is.
I don't have a problem with it because Dog was a freak, and he's a dog. He's not a person who got turned into a dog. What's a dog gonna say?
I love how the dog is. I love the eyes in this dog. I mean, the illustrator drew the dog very. They captured it very well.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
I'm fine. I think it's on purpose.
okay.
I
Yeah,
think
this
it's pretty
is
naked, obviously on purpose.
this is just a pregame. I mean, yeah. Here we go. Okay, so how about, speaking of this Green Lantern writer, how about this whole panel and how it was drawn and everything else?
I find her and him so unpleasant and uncomfortable that I don't want to psychoanalyze the writer. I don't know why this was necessary, but I think it's intentional. It's too. I can't believe this was left to the artist, and I can't believe if the artist just drew it. That again, the number of people that would have had to sign off on it.
Yeah,
like the art's back is what does it.
Yeah,
like it's clearly a sexualized position. I think people were having some fun, and that it would probably go over the heads of kids. But anyone who's past "I've had sex" age knows what they're looking at.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally. Come on, man. Wow. Come on. You're not fooling anybody.
I like the speed lines there, indicating that Hal doesn't last long.
Yeah.
Another blow against Hal Jordan is what I would say.
No, that's who ironically maybe doesn't blow because he's a hero.
Yeah.
I mean, what can we say?
What can you say? It was weird how this entire storyline, it was creepy, and then they seem to lean into places to make it more creepy.
Yeah, like they made text of it, as they say. Like they actually, I'm like, just please, what am I looking at? Like, whatever. Just that's left forgotten.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going intentional there, though.
Yes.
Oh, this isn't really necessarily sexual, but
wait, what? You wrote this? You did? This isn't real.
No, this is.
I didn't write
this. Nope.
Oh my god! I have an answer. I have no answer.
I love. There was a lot of, Joe. You read a lot of these books during this time period. Doom was hilarious back then.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Fool, Dr. Doom toots as he pleases. Do not toot it. What the fuck? You know what? Wait a minute. No. Think about what the sequence had to have been. These are both adult men. There's no way they use the word toot. And I'd be willing to bet that the script was what the word would be. Do not blow it. Right?
That's probably true.
Fool, Dr. Doom blows as he pleases. This was the least offensive of the things they could have put in.
Well, he's a villain, so he can blow as he pleases.
Yeah, but Namor does not say toot. I'm just never going to accept that. And that's not a horn you toot anyway. So
I like the little special effect there, the toot.
Toot. That's a horn you blow, my friend.
Yes.
I think we can all agree that a horn of that size and that particular shape is a horn you blow.
Yeah.
I think we have to give that up. So, So
Yeah.
intentional, but also accidental.
The horn is slightly sus as well, I would say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They know what they're doing. They're not fooling anybody.
Yeah. That's there's some yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
All right. What do we say about
what the hell?
What do we say here? Yeah. I mean
it's the 50s, right? When this one was done?
No, this would be later. This would be late 60s, early 70s, I'd say.
No shit.
Yeah.
If it's that late, it's on purpose. Somebody's having fun with it.
I have to believe so.
Yeah.
If this is something in the 60s, late 60s or 70s, I don't know who wrote this, but I bet they were unhappy that they were still writing comic books. That they wrote this. Like, fire me, goddammit.
Yeah, why would he need a why is there a home for seamen? As I'm like, what?
Wouldn't it be sailors? Why would it be seamen? It's an odd word choice. It has to be on purpose.
Yeah, he was selling aqua dolls as well. I mean,
writers are awful people. Don't be friends with us. We're just awful.
Yeah, it's he gets all the semen. Yeah.
He does get all the semen.
Yeah, he does.
Speaking
Why do semen need a home?
I don't know. And why is it Aquaman's home? Like, also, I'm of the opinion that if you're going to make a character, an established character, bi, he's the one you make bi.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. If I had a home for semen, I wouldn't put my name on it.
There you go.
Well, no, you want to make sure that they don't accidentally go to Superman's home for semen.
That's true. Because
you want to make that this is Aquaman's home for semen.
Yes, that's true. Which is different from Batman's home for semen, which just goes everywhere. Yeah.
Well, that's
or Wonder Woman's.
Yeah.
The inciting incident for City of Bruce, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, right. That's the portal to.
Yeah, it's the explosion at Ace Chemical. It's an explosion at Batman's.
That's hysterical.
Home for semen.
That's hysterical.
Well, Bruce's home for semen is Gotham.
Yeah,
clearly.
Yeah,
yes,
clearly,
absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, there you have it. And then, just to prove that way back in the day in the letters page, fans were also complaining about things. This is somebody who seems to be pissed. Is there something about ugly people that bugs you? It seems like all the superheroes are handsome and all superheroines are beautiful, but why? Why can't Reed Richards be bald? Seeing what Ben Grimm is, why does he have a cute little nose? That's weird, but why can't Hank Pym have huge Google eyes or Peter Parker have a protruding nose? Captain America should have a chipped tooth. The Rawhide Kid, why is he so clean cut? It's not that I mind, but why are the heroes so good looking? Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that. This particular hero, I don't know, I'm sure Joe remembers, you might remember too, Perch. This particular hero had a mini that was somewhat controversial.
Sure
yes,
did.
Indeed. Yeah.
And he was stylish as fuck in that.
He absolutely was.
But I don't know. I'm sorry, Anne Greco from the past, but these are idealized people. What your ideal is might be different. Like, I have a friend who really, really likes heavy-set, thick women, and I have another friend who prefers super skinny ballerina types.
Sure.
But both of them are idealized, and no one would describe them as ugly.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know that there's a clean answer. This is somebody's ideal.
Yeah. And Greco might also have an ugly fetish where she's only interested in unattractive men.
Sure.
And that could be something that plays into this.
Yeah, I don't know. And also, like, when I first got with my now wife, we got into an interesting conversation. It wasn't an argument or anything, but we were talking about people we found attractive. Like, you look at movies and stuff like that. And at some point she pointed out Fred Ward, who probably dates me in some way. And I was like, Fred Ward? What? Right? And she's like, dude, he's a man. And I was like, I mean, okay. Like, what can I say to that? Like, it's somebody's ideal of what makes a person attractive. I guess not everyone has a specific type, I suppose, but we can all, like, different eras decide what's attractive. So, fat people used to be super attractive. You can tell from the paintings of the era, Do you find
it weird that Marvel would print her full address?
I don't know that anybody's spending the money to go seek out Anne Greco in Ontario, Canada. But I mean, no, I think it's probably a mistake to do that. Probably you shouldn't do that, Marvel. Marvel of the past, shame on you.
I like how the publisher let's go ahead and dox this person who's completely.
I do love, though, how
fuck you, Iron.
I really love how Marvel used to, they do these letters columns, and obviously it's all curated. They're picking what they want. Sure. And every once in a while, they just take like a ridiculous letter that's just like, And how come you're teaching all of our kids horrible things? And why aren't your comics more bigoted? And then just so Stan could be like, sir, madam, we're here to try to make the world a better place. And yada, yada, yada.
It's a funky Flash man, baby.
It's curious. I don't know. It is interesting in terms of current times and what people complain about. I mean, this could be a multi-tweet thread in Twitter today.
Oh dear God! Are you kidding? Are you kidding? If this, oh my God!
It's time we had a discussion.
Weeks. Yeah, we'd be here for fucking weeks on this. People would be pulling out weapons and threatening to meet each other in real life, and she'd have to call the FBI because someone at Marvel fucking doxed her. Like, what the fuck?
You're just your DMs are getting inundated with people being like, "Man, you see the ugly discourse today?"
Oh shit! Where do you stand? What side are you going to choose? Fuck off.
Just respond to each other in memes for 10, 15 minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh my God! Just the meme storm off of this would be insane.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe? Would you have letters, column, and Beckstar?
There isn't one in this. I am all for letters, columns, and things like that, though. If I get to work on something and there's a letters column, I will make sure that is known.
Yeah.
I miss those. I love those back in the day.
Yeah, I really do love those. And especially you read all the reprints of, like the Silver Age stuff and how so many of the letters are from people that eventually went to work in comics. It's adorable.
Yeah.
What if she still lives there? That is a good question.
Since this letter was from a comic in the 70s, she's probably dead.
Jesus Christ. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, unless he was a very precocious 8-year-old or 10-year-old.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Perch.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
All right, let's see if you remember some of these. This was a good week. This is a good week for comics because we did get this one here on the left, which I hear is what's an important issue.
Oh my God, that broke my heart. That broke me. That and the death of Supergirl and Crisis on Infinite Earths were like, those were like peak comic book fan Jeff. That destroyed me. I could not talk. I was inconsolable for days after this issue. This thing, Dr. Doom's hand, was that when they went back to Latveria and found it was fucked up, that he wasn't there and some other guy was in charge and it actually was worse?
Yeah, I think that's
a non-dictatorship.
Yeah.
This is, as you're going to see from the other comic, this like John Byrne drew like half the covers we're going to see.
He was the man.
Mm-hmm.
He was the man. I remember this. Was that who? Frank somebody who was the actual penciler on the Captain America one? Who drew that? He used to be the Invaders artist.
220.
I think the cover is the
I'm talking about the cover.
Is that Frankie Robbins?
Somebody like that. I remember loving that art during the Invaders era when they were just doing the Invaders. All right. Yeah, these are beautiful. This is a great time for comics.
Absolutely.
God.
Very nice here. It's a little blurry.
But these too.
And then we get in the 90s, yeah. So a couple spawns and Gen 13 in your jungle adventure outfits.
Is that Mr. Campbell?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like Gen 13 was a missed opportunity. I'm not sure it ever quite coalesced in what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
It always had pretty art, but I could never really hook into it story-wise.
Yeah. It always felt like it was missing some moment that was going to get it to the next level. It did very well. I mean, it sold in the top 5 a lot.
Sure.
But it was a relatively short-lived run, and it also felt like when it passed, like nobody bothered to revive it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any there outside the art. I mean, I don't know who wrote it, and I'm not trying to shit on them in any way, but some comics, they don't stick the landing, and I think Gen 13 was one that never ever, no matter who was driving, it just never stuck the landing for some reason.
You had, you had the right set of kids with powers, and it could have been a nice Teen Titans style. DC owns them, as people are pointing out, and I think it would be quite easy if you got the right team to revive it. It was just very weird that they just haven't. I don't know.
In fact, of all of the Wildstorm characters that they've tried to bring in, their origin is actually the one that's the easiest fit for modern DC. It doesn't need to be an Image comic. It doesn't need, like, Grifter, freaking what's his name, Mr. Majestic, even Zealot. Like, I don't know how you're folding Zealot into modern DC comics. I'm sure someone's going to try.
I believe really soon, actually. Where is Zealot showing up in Wonder Woman? I think.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
You know what? If you can climb that Everest, God bless you. But that will make me buy the book to see how well they can pull it off. But Gen 13 seems like it's a natural, like, genetically engineered superheroes, super beings, I should say. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. I think there should be Planet Wildstorm over there. I don't know why that hasn't happened.
It seems weird. How about Gen 13 Green Lantern? Yeah.
You laugh. You think you're being funny, Mumbles, but that's not a bad idea for a one-off. Yeah. Why not? Like,
there you go.
Yeah, if someone said, we're going to do it, would you like to write it? We'd like to hire you to write this concept. I'd probably say yes, as long as it was a one-shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. I have no idea what I'd do.
How about you, Joe? And also Geoff, who do you think is paid more, the writer or the artist, or should be paid more? Yeah,
I think it depends. I'm going to keep getting into this versions of this problem with people. It depends on the book, and it depends on the length of the career of the person involved with the book. If I'm hiring Alan Moore and some very talented but no-name artist, you bet your bottom dollar Alan Moore gets more money, and should. People are showing up for that name, for one thing, from the point of view. And also, he's going to be putting in the kind of work that artist is going to be very happy that they got to draw that book. On the other side of that, no-name writer who somehow hooks up with, I don't know, Neil Adams, let's just say, or anyone who's your favorite right now, but is a big name, right? They should expect to be paid less. And in fact, I was paid less than the artist on Mosaic. And I have a long career as a writer of everything except comics. So did I have a problem with that? I did not. But I don't think it's a clear-cut, easy answer that people would look for with that question. I think it always is a case by case in that sort of situation.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense. So what do you say, Joe?
No, that does make sense. I will say the things that do, like, keeping that in mind, the royalties always need to be split, even if it was an even split. So
I agree with that.
If it's a creator owned and it's 50-50, always keeping that. And then if it's a work for hire and you hit the royalty threshold on a comic, whoever counts in those royalties, if it's just the writer artist, if it's the writer artist and the colorist in some instances, then it's got to be, that royalties, I feel, are more the even split across the board situation, as long as it is that equal percentage. And
I agree with that. I would even go so far as to say, unless the writer came in with everything, including designs,
sure,
or is the IP holder, like in an independent comic. Let's say that they're making T-shirts, or not dolls necessarily, but things that are just the art sort of repurposed to go on another surface, a cup, a T-shirt, a keychain, a poster, shit like that. That should be 100% the artist.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the writer should get a cut of that at all. Yeah. Not even a 1% cut of that. But when you're shifting it to a new medium, one that requires the story part, it's either 50-50 or some other version, depending on the variables that we just talked about. So I think there's a way. I always try to be fair. I always try to look at a situation and go, what is fair in this moment? There's no way to be, you can't be proactively fair. You can't say it's always going to be this way every time.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. That's not how life is. So just try to seek the fair outcome is what I would say.
Well, yeah, I agree. Somebody asked me this, and I do think that the artist should, if people are starting out, all things are equal, no name. I think that the artist, I tend to believe the artist should be paid a little bit more. They're doing more work, typically. But I think you make a really good point that if you get like an Alan Moore, you get somebody who's got a name, a draw, more experience. It's not always it shouldn't always be that the artist gets paid more. If the writer is bringing the prestige, the story, the showcase,
Right.
Then I think that completely makes sense. If you got Alan Moore and the talented but no name artist, you pay Alan Moore more. Of course you do.
What if it's here's another answer to that question too. So theoretically, the big two, let's just say it's the big two. They go out to the conventions and they do portfolio reviews, and they find some 18-year-old who's fucking amazing and can do the sequentials and can hit the deadlines and all that. And they establish them with a not fan favorite. They put them together with a writer who is not a fan favorite necessarily, but somebody who's been doing it a while, and therefore their quotes are a little bit higher. Their per issue rate is higher than entry level. That person should get paid more. The writer on that side should get paid more. They put in more time. They've been doing it longer. Theoretically, they're an expert, and this person's a talented amateur getting their first shot. So in that situation, even though the artist is still doing the heavy lifting, they should not make equal to or more than that established professional. They just should not. So because that person's put in work and time to up their quotes, what we used to call quotes. Their page rate has gone up based on experience and time in the game. So yeah,
that makes sense. Some older covers.
Would I accept royalties from Mosaic T-shirts?
Yeah,
I will accept money that's given to me for free. Yes, but would I force the company to put it into my contract that I'm supposed to get that? No, I would not. That should go to Kari and Emilio.
Yeah,
they did that.
And there are some pretty recent examples of writers I think even on like Big Two stuff who have made more money than artists on their books.
Right. It just depends, and it's not always fair. I agree, and the artists do get they do well. Even on Green Lantern, I put these guys through it. They're drawing casts of thousands and all these weird gadgets and all kinds of, and that's labor intensive. The more detail that has to go into a page, the more labor it is. So I'm not sure every writer does less work on every book than the artist, because it depends on the complexity of the story and how much work went into constructing all of that. That's work too. It's a different kind of work, but I don't like this weird friction that's been brought up. We should strive for 50-50 is what we should strive for.
I agree. I do think it should strive for that. And I do think that's the ideal state where you get the right pieces in place. And I think based on the seniority or the draw, the people underestimate the draw. If one name, artist or writer, and again, it goes the other way too. If you have a relatively unknown writer and you got Todd McFarlane drawing it, absolutely Todd McFarlane should be getting the bigger check.
Yeah, right? He should be crushing it. Right, yeah. Exactly. Or I'll even go this far. Let's say you put me right now on a book with somebody like John Byrne or George Perez or somebody like that. They should make more money than me.
Yeah,
of course they should. In comic books, they should make more money than me. Of course they should.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's fair. I like so older covers here. There's your buddy Hal Jordan. I like the Batman Adam Strange, where Batman's asking who killed Adam Strange, and clearly the answer to that is Tom King.
I was going to say, aren't you a fucking detective? Yeah. Why did we bring you here? Don't figure it out.
Yeah, why is he just shouting out this? Figure it out, man.
I thought you were a detective. Is this how you figure out cases? You just yell at people until someone gives up the truth?
Yeah.
I thought you could laugh because of the coloring. I thought that was John on the cover of the Green Lantern.
Some of the people in the chat did too. Yeah,
that's hysterical.
Who did that cover? It looks like, is that like
I can't tell.
Not a Gil Kane cover, is it?
Keith Pollard?
I believe that is Gil Kane. Yes.
Oh wow.
Weird. Somebody did a bad inking job. He doesn't draw like that. I am so not making. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Well, it's a retroactive woke apocalypse because judging by that cover price, it is anywhere near the current day.
That's true. Yeah,
that's God.
That's true. But yeah, that's the Legion during the Great Darkness.
That was the greatest. That was so great.
Yeah.
That was so great. And Giffen was at, I wouldn't say at the height of his powers, because I think once he started climbing up, I don't think he's ever come down.
Yeah.
But that was some shit you had never expected to see in the Legion.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Holy crap. Oh, it was a great run.
That was people who haven't experienced that really do. And please, it is a good run to check out.
Holy shit.
I like how Mumbles is pivoted to going after you, Geoff, not me for a change. That's
but he knows, he or she, I don't know Mumbles' gender. He, she, or they. I've already said, if I'm being quiet, just assume I'm saying fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I assume Mumbles is the they. I think, yeah.
I love Mumbles.
Yeah.
But also fuck you, Mumble.
You remember when Marvel used to do these James Bond comics?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't have the James Bond, but I have the other two.
Yeah. In full color, no less. I like it.
Well, that's a great I love that Iron Man 149, 150 where they go back and
wait, is that the time travel one?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was gold.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn. Oh man.
I that was a great storyline. That's one that it's funny. Marvel tends to try and go back to that storyline, but poorly at times. Where I think they could just reprint that story and be done. But
yes,
it's great. It's great. It is truly a lovely story.
Yeah.
Well played.
Oh, that's like Burns. Who is that? Yeah.
Was that he wasn't the Beyonder? It was somebody with powers like that, though, wasn't it?
No, this was, as I recall, and I may be completely mistaken here, but I think the guy didn't have powers. It was kind of the joke of the issue, as I recall.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
There's somebody who was screwing with Fantastic Four, but I don't recall. I don't recall the story behind that. I need to. Joe, didn't you just read? You recently went back and read the Byrne Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah.
What was going on here? Do you remember?
Oh God, because wasn't this still a little early on? Because I think this is only a few issues or so after the Sienkiewicz run ended.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So like this was still super early on. That wasn't when Franklin Richards grew up briefly and they had to de-age him again, right?
Yeah. Oh, he grew himself
up. Might have been
right.
That might be around then.
Oh, that was cool too. Yeah, and he destroyed Herbie the robot doing it.
He sure did.
This was the issue. Okay, yeah, this is the one. The plot for this will bore everybody, but Skip Collins is an ordinary Joe, typical middle-aged family man who holds down a regular job, unexceptional in every single way, desolate hippie son, always. And he is so frustrated, but being so unimaginative and ordinary, Joe is unaware that he has some of the most powerful powers in the universe.
Oh, okay. Right.
I vaguely remember this story, just vaguely.
All right.
Well, this is really before it started rocking and rolling. This was But
he was doing a Kirby Lee impression when he first took over the book.
Yeah. Although I think we had was it Frankie Ray introduced by now?
Yeah, and this was where they were wandering into the Ego, the Living Planet storyline. So
okay, no, I remember the Ego, the Living Planet bit. That was a cool bit.
Yeah, there you go. That's fun stuff.
Oh, Camelot 3000.
Yeah. Tower of Babel, JLA. I like this Flash where I like the premise behind this where the villains are fighting away and the Flash is like, "Oh, get in," and the villain's like, "Shut the fuck up and get out."
Shut up! Nobody talking to you. What are you doing? You wait your turn, hero boy.
I love them smacking him back. It was that was pretty awesome. But Camelot 3000 was fun. I there's another one. That's been collected somewhere, hasn't it?
Yeah, more than once.
Yeah,
I love that book.
I think it's hard to find though these days.
Is it?
I think you're right these days, but yeah, they would keep trying to push it and came up, I think, with a few different versions of it in print and like.
I think the art is better than the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
On that, nothing against it. I really liked it, but I think part of the reason is I never thought I'd say this out loud. I think Brian Boland has become a flavor that you have to like, but at the time he was Brian Hitch. like he could do no wrong. Like you put that guy in a book and it was like, rawr.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it. I own it.
Mm-hmm.
Tower of Babel was great too.
Yes. Very nice.
Or there's Burn again.
Here's plenty of two Burn comics. I like the framing of this Marvel Age comic where Doom is about to just fuck up this party with a bottle of ants.
Yeah. He does not. He's just
classic.
a dick.
What
he's Burn is Doom is Marvel's Superman from the 50s. He just shows up to fuck with shit.
Yes. There's a funny. I mean, you've also got Conan on this cover here with like hanging out with Storm, and this is long before they're somehow he's in having a party and
we got a party where Storm can have her mohawk.
Yes, that's right. Apparently can't have it today.
Say what you want about the Hellfire Gala, but that final Emma Frost get up, which she's all diamonded up. I'm all over that. That was a dress and a half. I was somebody at the Oscars in that fucking dress. Holy shit!
I could recommend some sequel. Yeah, this is a nice junior run on X-Men as well.
He did a great job. I think his run gets lost sometimes. Like he did a great job. That's the one where I always remember that because that's the one where Wolverine let the Juggernaut beat the shit out of Colossus to make a point. Like, wow.
Yeah, I feel like Romita's run and Paul Smith's run kind of get forgotten, and they'll talk about Cockrum, Byrne, and then it feels like a lot of people jump to Silvestri pretty quickly when they're talking about X-Men.
That's true. Maybe it's because neither of them got a giant arc that people remember. Like Silvestri, didn't he get the Mutant Massacre?
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's the arc that JR got? I don't think that he got.
No, well, JR got some of the Mutant Massacre for sure. And I know Alan Davis got an issue of it.
Okay.
God, did Rick Leonardi get an issue of that as well?
Sure.
I don't think Silvestri did get the Mutant Massacre actually.
He got Siege Perilous.
He was Siege Perilous, but he was also Fall of Mutants.
Yes, exactly.
And Inferno, right?
Yes, and Paul Smith is underrated.
Yes, Paul Smith is super underrated.
Yeah.
Inferno. No, who was that? There was that other artist who was always on New Mutants. Had been doing The Trouble with Girls before that. It doesn't matter. Jesus Christ, I can't remember this. Even half remember all this shit.
Too many of this.
Warlord. That was my bok.
Supergirl apparently is a useless character that nobody wants. Yeah. Yeah.
At least she's wearing shorts, for God's sakes.
Yeah, that's true. That cover would have been much different if it was the skirt. So
I never understood the skirt on any superhero that flies. I was like, what's this for?
It made it easy for Batman.
I love that logo though. The new DC. There's no stopping us now, and then they had a crisis in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Except for this impending crisis, nothing will stop us until then. And they were killing everybody.
This this would be 77, I think, or right before the implosion, I believe.
Oh, that was before the implosion. Okay, yeah. Either way,
nothing. Is that Dan Jurgens on the Warlord?
I'm pretty sure. Yes, absolutely, it is. Yes.
Yeah, I remember, and it's unfair to Dan's art because I was such a total Mike Grell fan, like ridiculous fanboy for Mike Grell, that basically anyone who was drawing that book was going to get shit from me. Like, give it back to Grell or cancel it. I don't want to see this. But it's not fair. I'm sure it was great.
Yeah, as people point out, Hal has some abs in this. Like he
sure does.
Yeah.
Work that core, baby.
And I'm mistaken. This obviously isn't from the 70s because they're promoting Superman 3.
Yeah, so it's got to be like 83. So like 2 years before Crisis started.
Yeah, exactly. I remember they did a similar slogan, although I don't remember what it was, where you right before the DC implosion, where it's like you can't stop us, we're growing like crazy. Like,
Shut up, we're growing like crazy. You can't stop us.
Alan's Space Pirates there. How about this? I like this double page Marvel, or this full spread Marvel fanfare of like chubby Ock just kind of.
Look at his ass though.
Yeah.
Look at Dr. Ock. He's working that ass.
I mean, that looks like an air conditioner hanging out a window.
It's like he borrowed someone else's good ass and stuck it on his body.
Yeah, he's. It also ruins it slightly with Mark Gruenwald there, kind of waving in the little corner box.
Oh, that is weird.
Like, hey, check out this ass.
What didn't Marvel Fanfare? This was not just for this issue. They did this a lot on that. Didn't they?
Yeah, they frequently did the full cover. Yeah,
and it was a prestige format or something like that.
Yeah. It was one of the early like direct market, nice paper and Baxter printing. Is that what it was called?
Baxter paper. God damn it! Oh my god, that was such a deal. Holy crap!
Yeah, he's had some work done.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I like the Spider-Man too.
Yeah, he's hanging out. Obviously, this is one of the 18 times Aunt May died. So, yeah,
I like how Raging. He's mourning raging Spider-Man in the sky.
Yeah, like no.
Well, he's mad as Brett Blevins is the name you were thinking of earlier for
boom. There you go.
Right. There we go.
Yeah, Brett draws wonderful cheesecake art. If you run into him at a con, he'll draw you some nice stuff.
Oh, I always felt that he skirted that in his mainstream work.
Yeah.
I was like, is that the pose she'd really be in, or is that just hot? Like, what are you doing? I mean,
and
I guess one does stand.
Yeah.
And was May his mom yet? At that point,
not yet. No.
Like not for nothing though. They couldn't have, splurged and got her into like a nicer graveyard. Like Jesus.
Well, Peter wasn't rich back then. He was just some dude. I don't know how much money did they even have. I assume May was living off her pension. Like, wasn't she taking in renters? She rented to freaking Otto at one point. Like,
but it's like I don't know. Maybe you get a few extra pictures of Spider-Man and you get her a nice plot. I don't know.
Fair enough. Or you ask your friend Tony Stark to hook you up for a minute.
Yeah,
it's only the person who raised me.
Yeah, well, Tony was probably hitting it, so he.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Thank you. It's just like don't put her in like a creepy haunted graveyard. Like that's awful.
That was specifically in her will, Joe. She chose that tree and that part of the graveyard. What do you mean?
It's
oh, Blackfire. Fuck yeah.
Introduction. This wasn't the introduction. Blackfire had been coming, right? Before.
Right.
No, I don't mean it that way.
Right.
But,
yeah.
Jesus, are we ever getting away from this?
Well, I mean, Batman's over there on the right, like, what's raging. Gotham Knight? My tongue.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Well, does he even have one? It doesn't look like Batman has a tongue.
Oh, it's in there.
It's in there. That's what she said, Perch.
Yes.
So Omega Men, another Giffen project, also awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big Bat fan, so I'm sure I own this, but I can't tell you one thing about it.
Yeah.
Is it Batman versus Man Bat or Dracula or somebody?
That's all right. That was that like a that was during. Is that during Conway's run or Doug taken over by then?
This would be, let's see, this is Batman 351. So I think Doug had taken over by that point.
Okay.
We'll see. But are you watching the Titan series is going to drop? Are you watching that, Jeff?
Yeah, I like it. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I think it's had some bumps here and there, but on the whole, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, how many times are they going to recast some of these characters or change them up? But not recast. This was Jerry Conway. Yeah, as Max said, this is Jerry Conway. Polovitz was still.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Nice.
We got to just do a retrospective on the Conway run. I love that run.
You know he's on Twitter. You could have him on the show if you haven't already.
We should just have him on the show.
We'll reach out. We'll say, hey, we want to complain about some sexiness in manga. Come on.
Hey, if that's what he wants to promote at the end of the video, that's fine.
Yo, he is he's definitely got an opinion.
We'll have to see what he thinks of these Dynamite covers. You know, watch
an episode first, Jerry, before you make your decision.
I love this G.I. Joe cover. I remember this coming out, and I love the composition of it and just the whole. This was a nice cover. I also like Moon Knight fighting pirates. So
I was like, who is that pirate dude?
Yeah,
the pirate.
And was that the second Kree Skrull War?
This would be after the Skrull War. This is
the Stern run, right?
Yeah. This was when Captain
There's
Marvel
the first one.
Yeah.
Right. There was the first one, and then there was what did they call it? Operation something, where they were fighting
Galactic Storm.
Galactic Storm. That's it. Was this part of that?
This was pre-Galactic Storm.
Okay.
So yeah, this was kind of an odd Avengers team. I think Monica Rambeau wasn't the leader yet. I think Wasp was the leader during this time, as I recall.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Different costume every issue. I love it.
Yeah. Star Fox is just hanging out there feeling horny.
Oh my God, Star Fox. Yeah, and I'm not going to tell you that I'm manipulating you into wanting to have sex with me, guy.
Yes, exactly.
What is wrong with these people?
Stefan, that is an awesome comment. I love
Yes,
well played, my friend. Well played.
I love that. Yeah. This G.I. Joe was a good book. I mean, that was the entry to a lot of kids into comics was G.I. Joe and Transformers, and you know, it was weird that kids would, parents were okay, kids would buy their books of a military operation murdering people, but they didn't really kill people. I mean,
well, he was a real American hero. It says over on the cover.
That's right. Sure. That was fine. I like G.I. Joe. I like this book a lot. There's some really great covers during this time.
For sure.
Larry Hama was writing it then?
This was to be Larry Hama, and Zek was doing the cover, but I don't think he was doing the interiors of this one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That is some great stuff.
Zek, Jesus, he could draw.
Yeah.
Arak, Son of Thunder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Silver Age. We see you.
Yeah. And Baron Bedlam.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I have all those Outsiders. That's Jim Aparo drawing the Outsiders. One of my favorite artists of all time.
It's great, and you gotta love Metamorpho there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you're chaining Metamorpho to anything, but God bless you for doing it. Like, whatever trick you use, I want to know what that was. Like, holy crap.
The logic of some of these covers were odd. Yeah, they would freak out. Heroes would get chained up a lot like this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
That's such a good Legion cover, though.
Yeah.
Strangely, none of their backs are arched in even the slightest way. That's what's weird the most. That's weird how when you have men hanging by the chains.
Yes. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
They strangely don't flex that way, I guess.
Yeah. They're just hanging out. It's all right. It's
and my
that Legion cover is great.
God damn, I love that run. That guy was a monster when he took over that book.
Yeah.
Ugh. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, darling. Whose hand is that?
Yeah. What villain was this?
Is that Emerald Empress? Because I mean,
Soul. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
it was, but I don't. I mean, was that? I don't know if that was. Well, I guess that is who they were portraying there. But as I recall, the Emerald Empress was working with somebody during this arc. There was
There's a little bit where they run into just her.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe that was.
Yeah.
All right, and then some savagery. Mignola on Hulk.
Yeah. Early Mignola.
Yeah.
People don't remember that. There was a time before Hellboy, kids.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And Ed Conan looking confused, like, what are all these hanging people doing here? And
I'm loving that Solomon Kane, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that looks great.
Jesus.
Yeah. King size first issue. Yeah.
And the exclamation point's free.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how many men I've chained up. I'm not gonna. I neither confirm nor deny the number of men I've chained up.
See, there's your arch
I mean, yeah, I suppose, but really, he's not really putting his all into it, like a lady would do.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's some nice stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Bushima's a monster too, unsung in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
I have that issue. Was that Armor Wars where he was collecting?
Unfortunately, it's way before Armor Wars. So
okay,
down in the.
Well, that's Denny's run, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this is probably around when this has got to be close to it, and he starts losing Stark Industries and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Archback drama. Damn right.
Yeah. I like how this is also a time period where some character would show up with the champions. In this case, this is in Avengers, but the champions are guest starring, and Iron Man's just going to punch the shit out of him.
Yeah, like he staggers Hercules with a punch. That tells you how good that armor is, man. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Well, we saw a couple weeks ago he's going to put his fist through somebody. So,
good lord.
Well, this is interesting too, because you got Beast on the team, and it's we're still not sure if the X-Men really have a future.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
Right. What a weird character to put on the Avengers.
Right.
What was that about? Was it Perez just like drawing him? I can't think of any other reason.
It had to be, yeah. It was weird. It fit weird.
And then the whole Wonder Man friendship. I was like, what is this? What's happening? Am I having a stroke? What the fuck is going on here?
That was incredibly weird. And that cover does not encourage violence against bisexual people. Jesus, you are
no.
Long before anybody was worrying about any of that.
Poor man. We didn't even have bisexuals then. What are you talking about?
No, it's crazy. Oh wait,
we didn't invent bisexuals until 2000. So shut up.
Yes, that's Hercules was hitting everything that moved. He was omnisexual at that point.
Yes.
And then the second issue of Alpha Flight. Here's Marina losing her shit over here.
Oh my god! They had such a strong start. I really loved them when they debuted in the X-Men, and I wanted this book to be amazing. And it was just pretty. It just was like Byrne did a lot of stuff, but I don't know if there was enough there for Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed to run out of steam. Although I think that what this run where Marina gets emotional, loses her mind, I think is the plot for Amelia Clark's new comic. I think is what I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the whole thing was what? She was from an alien species. They dropped the eggs here. She got found by humans, so she looks human, but she's really this giant gill monster that's here to eat and kill everything.
Right.
And I was like, okay, it's a good horror plot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Namor was kind of able to tame her for a while, so.
Yeah. Weren't they married for 5 seconds?
They were. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Namor, another character that she briefly got him over his Sue Storm obsession. So, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I will not kill off David Bowie. I would never kill off David Bowie.
No. Well, folks, we have
what?
We have drank and talked a lot.
Next week.
Yes, until next week. We do have a couple things as mentioned. We have this interview with Jim Zub, which is long. Cool. It's a great one, but it's the second part, and it's really good. A lot of good stuff in there. Carl Potts, Joe, you're excited to talk to Carl?
I'm very excited to talk to Carl Potts.
And we had a good chance to talk to Joe Casey, so we'll get that one up as well. He's another guy with fascinating stories to tell. So.
Oh yeah, no, he's that was great.
Yeah,
I love.
You're going to learn a lot about Stacey X.
That's true.
Yeah. Ask all the Stacey X questions.
We do. We talked Stacey X and Joe Casey, of course, the creator of
America Chavez.
America Chavez. That's right.
Yeah.
I get on that. So
I'm amazed that once again Superman is a straight up dick. He's not throwing her off the planet because she did something heinous. She's just a failure in her career, so she has to go to another world. Like, God damn.
Absolutely. No, Yes, Superman was the absolute best. One of these times, this is probably the last, maybe it's one stream. I'll collect, there's plenty of like 30 Superman covers from this time period, and we'll just explore how shitty each one is.
What a fucking bastard. Jesus. She's literally begging for another check. Why is he so awful? Good God.
On the bright side, he's giving her handle to hold on to while he hurls her into space.
I mean, is it that or like, I don't know. Fuck you, Superman.
How did he like trick her into that?
Well, he shamed her into it. Yeah.
He shamed her into it. That's true, Max. I forgot about that. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
She should consider herself lucky.
That's very fair.
Superman gave her a chance. Yeah.
I gave you a lot of chances.
I still believe that, Superman, what struck me, and your work for DC, so I don't want to put you, in September, they've got at least 4 different timelines of Superman running around.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think that they know what all this Infinite Frontier post death metal stuff means.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing, I'm hoping that if I'm meant to know something that's going to influence the book I'm working on, that someone will tell me. But I'm exactly in the dark as everybody else. I don't know what that's all about.
All I know is since we have the Omniverse now, if they just had a monthly comic, I'll pitch this every single week. Do Dick Superman in just one comic a week. You've got like 60 of them.
Exactly.
It'd be awesome. Yeah.
And aren't there a similar set of Batman being cruel to Robin covers?
There are, he was like punking Robin, but then he was also like having tickle fights in bed with him and other things. So it was Batman.
Tickle fight. That's his son. He can play with his son. Come on. Get your mind out of the gutter, Perch.
He played with his son, yeah. By the way.
Oh my God.
Joe Kelly was the Deadpool guy, not Joe Casey. But it's funny you say that because Joe starts the interview that way.
Yeah, the first question is, do people confuse you with Joe Kelly?
Let me tell you an embarrassing story before we go.
Perfect.
I believe it was Joe. It doesn't even matter which one it was because that's the point. At the Golden Apple, where it was my comic book shop, there was a signing. And we'll know from the story which Joe it was. I waited in line to get a book signed. I don't remember what it was. It was whatever he was selling, but I, of course, didn't look at the cover because I'm an idiot. And I went on and on and on about what an excellent job he was doing with Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
And I was allowed to go on and on and on until I stopped. Yeah, I'm not that Joe. I'm the other Joe. So... Thanks, Geoff. You can go home now and just live in a bucket on the back porch for the rest.
From what he said, it happens a lot, I think.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't remember me at all.
Oh no, it's these are things that make life worth living. We also we're coming up close, but there is some good comic launch news coming in the next week or two. Waiting for comics to arrive on my desk here, but you will see.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So some good stuff. Geoff and Joe, thank you very much for spending this nice Friday with us. And
brother, I love it.
Yeah, this is a great time.
These are always enjoyable. Thank you, everybody, from the chat for hanging with us. And yes, Mumbles, thank you for putting up with all the old comics from old people.
You know what I have to say, Mumbles? Just take a guess what I have to say at this point.
There you go.
Do I even need to say it out loud at this point? You know me, baby.
We're going to find out Mumbles is like 70, and this is all a big scam.
I love Mumbles. I do. I'm not being silly. Yes. And also, fuck you, Mumbles.
Yes, exactly. It's both. We'll have a good time. Thank you everybody for being here. Like I mentioned, I don't know. In theory, we'll be back next week, but maybe we won't. So I'll talk to you soon. But thank you, everybody, and have a great weekend.
Yes,
folks.